What is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
None of you seem to understand. I'm not locked in here with you.
You're locked in here with me.
All right. What is it? Tuesday? Is it Tuesday night already? Must be the Tuesday night Radio Baloney Live. I am your host, Richie Baloney. How's everybody doing? Who we got in here? Well, we don't have Spambot, who came in just to tell me he got the first like, and he got magical riches for that. We got Izzy in here. We got Rosie in here. We got Chef Rico. How you guys doing? Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. As everybody knows, we're streaming on Rumble. We're streaming on YouTube. We're streaming on X, and we're streaming on Locals as well. And on each one of those, you can like the stream. And guess what happens when you do? You get free good karma from me. You see, while I'm preparing the streams and while I'm doing the streams, I'm building up this internal reservoir of good karma. And once I discovered this, I thought, well, this is going to be fantastic. I've got so much good karma. Only good things will happen to me. Then I realized that would be bad karma. I can't keep it all. That's greedy. So I've got to give it away as I create it. I give it to you, my loyal viewers. And the first like on every stream, the first like gets, well, it could be double, it could be triple, it could be quadruple, it could be quintuple, it could be 6 times that as soon as I learn what that word is. I don't know. Spambot was in. He can't even watch. He just came in. He came in to say, I got the first like, but I can't watch. I'll have to watch it on replay. And you know what? I thought that was such a beautiful thing. Thought that was such a beautiful and brave gesture. I decided to give Spambot 15 times good karma. Just once is a one-time only thing, people. Everybody's not getting that. Everybody's not getting that. It was a one-time thing. It's just a very special and brave thing he did there. So he gets the 15 times good karma. Only good things can happen for the hardest working man in the Radio Baloney chat. All right. Now, Izzy got number 2. So this presents a question for me. So what do? I can't give him 14 because this is not a normal thing. Maybe I just lost my mind for a second. I don't know what happened. But it's got to be more than like 2 or 3 for the second one, right? So I think we'll go for the previous high one, which is quintuple good karma. Quintuple good karma for you, Izzy. Which means Rosie at number 3 gets quadruple good karma. Very nice. Whoever is 4 gets a triple, 5 gets double, and then number 6 gets 1.5. So lots for everybody. I'm throwing it out. I've still got tons left, though, for all the people who don't like the stream. Also, by the way, follow the channel, subscribe to the channel, become a channel member, send me money, like the streams. Everybody loves it. Everybody's doing it now. So just go ahead and do that. Now, I just want to say for all of the people on YouTube, this is YouTube only. I've started a new channel, Radio Baloney News. It's not even a week old yet. I need you guys to go over and subscribe to that, because that's going to be all of the world news and U.S. news, and the meme reviews, which I just started doing, are going to be all going over there. So, like, lots of fun stuff. They're not going to be on the main Radio Baloney channel, the one you're watching right now. That one is going to be only for live streams, which is, Canada, U.S., world, everything. We cover all kinds of crazy stuff. And then the Canadian news. The rest of it's all going onto this Radio Baloney new channel. And let me tell you something. After some initial success with one video, it turns out the algorithm is going to do me no favors whatsoever with this new channel. So I need you guys to go there and do this for me. And you can get the good karma over there when you like those videos too. I'm giving away good karma for those ones as well. You guys know what's going on. All right. So go do that. So now let's go through the menu quickly, what we're going to talk about tonight. Obviously, the Nepal revolution. Hold on one sec. I just want to check something here. Okay. Yeah, we're going to be covering the Nepal revolution, which is totally crazy. We've got lots of news. We're going to find out about the government. We've got news articles. We're going to be going over to the UK. Here's Graham Linehan again. He's talking about being arrested. He's the comedian, the creator of like Father Ted and Black Books and the IT Crowd, arrested for speech upon returning to the UK. And there's tons of UK stuff. It's just turning into a police state. We've got lots of news on that. It's terrifying, but we have to bear witness to it. The horrific killing of the Irina, the Ukrainian, that poor, beautiful Ukrainian woman, Irina Zalutska. And this is a pretty strong statement. And I think you're going to want to see it if you haven't seen it already. Pierre Poilievre just talking about just rational ways to fix Canada, not crazy, pie in the sky, utopian, net zero, climate, Greta Thunberg gibberish, just normal stuff, like for normal people in normal countries that have money. Mark Carney, this is what happens when you get a globalist, self-described globalist technocrat bureaucrat, UN global climate envoy to lead your country. It's terrible. I always said before Mark Carney, when it was Justin Trudeau, never elect a former drama teacher, snowboard instructor to be your leader. I mean, that was Trudeau's resume before becoming prime minister, right? Also, don't elect globalist technocrat central banker bureaucrats to run your country either. Terrible, terrible idea. Woke Canada. We got something from Amy Eileen Ham here. She is the nurse who's been persecuted by the Nurses College. She's talking about her kid's school district. And guess what? Spoiler alert, it's woke and retarded. Let's see. Ryan Garrettson, Mayor of Barrie, has declared a state of emergency due to crime lawlessness. This is Canada. This is Canada. This is what happens when you vote in idiots to run your country. It goes badly. It goes badly. We're not quite at Nepal levels yet, but let's see. Canadian economy. So you can guess how that's probably going to go. EU, nothing is going well there. Canadian media bias. Yeah. They're telling us about global warming linked to consumption of sugary drinks, ice cream, and new research. If you're eating an ice cream right now, open your window and throw it out immediately, because CTV News told you to save the planet. Don't you want to save the planet? If you don't throw that out your window, the whole world is going to burn, for God's sakes. Then we got the last tab of the evening, and here's Greta Thunberg and her friends on their little boat that they're trying to break the siege of Gaza. Here they're lying about, this is quite funny actually, they're lying about being attacked by an Israeli Mossad drone or something like that, and there's video showing them trying to light a flare and nearly burning their boat down. So, and then they lie about it afterwards, that it was the Mossad trying to burn down their boat. Probably there's Israeli forces just watching them, because they're probably constantly on the verge of sinking and all dying, and they're probably just watching them just to save them just in case. All right, because they're all incompetent. These are all incompetent commies. We got lots of stuff like this. We got crazy stuff. We have, there's actually not that much in this one. It might be a short night. Whatever, whatevs. And one more time, everybody on YouTube, this is not going to affect anybody on Rumble. Everything is going on the Rumble channel. Everything is going there. Don't worry, there's one channel. Everything's going to go there. But on YouTube, all of the world stuff, the US stuff, the meme review stuff, that's all going on the new channel, Radio Baloney News. Subscribe to it right now. We need you. It's not even a week old. It's only 6 days old. We've got 26 subscribers on there, so we need more. And I'm telling you right now, the algorithm on YouTube is not helping me at all, and it's not going to. All right? Obviously, because it's what I talk about. It's the stuff I talk about it. YouTube doesn't want people talking about it. And I don't use a bunch of code words, pew-pews, somebody got hurt with a pew-pew. I'm not playing that goddamn game. I can't. It's humiliating having to self-deletion. No, I just say the damn words. We're all adults, are we not? We're not children, okay? We're not going to get triggered. You guys aren't going to get triggered, right? If I say a word, if I say the word because I'm describing a crime, if I say rape, you guys are not going to get triggered by that. We are all adults here. And I'm just not going to play that game. And because I don't play that game, because personally, I think it's humiliating. And I'm just not going to do it. I've dabbled with it in the past. And you know what? It's just embarrassing. So I'm not going to play that game. I'm just going to treat everybody like we're adults, right? Like we can handle it. Like we can handle reality. Like we can handle accurate descriptions of reality. Are you with me on this, people? Are you? Because if you are, I'm going to need you to go and subscribe to this channel. Because the algorithm, I'm telling you right now, it ain't going to help me. And it's not going to help you find me. Not my new channel. So 2 channels on YouTube, the one you're watching right now, and then this new one. Please come over there and help me, or else I'm going to rant more. I'm not kidding. You know what always calms me down? Fences. Big, beautiful fences. And goats. Big, beautiful alpine fences. Yeah, just relaxing. I find them almost mesmerizing, actually. Like this woman here. She likes fences, too. All right, I better not have any more coffee, but I'm going to do it anyway. What's going on? All right. Let's get to the chat, and then we're going to get to then we are going to go into all the stories I showed you on the menu, and we're going to go into them in detail. And you guys can blab and do all kinds of crazy stuff in the chat. And I expect the chat to be degenerate, so don't be embarrassed. Don't be ashamed. I expect it to be a beautiful train wreck. So just jump in. Rosie says, missed you last night to Spambot. You must commit to rescuing Richie. Well, we had a premium-only stream on Rumble last night. We got to do 5 hours of that a month so I can stay in the Rumble Creator Program. And it was a pretty small one. It was, I think, there's a couple others in there. Who was in there? Was Chef Rico in for a little bit? JJ? But yeah, it was small because it's premium members only and then channel members only. So just, I guess, become a channel member, I guess. Just do that. Yeah, Chef Rico and Turtles. Turtles was also there too. But we had fun. We had a good time. We looked at a bunch of stand-up comedy. It was awesome. All right. How you doing, Chef Rico? Joey Neller, how you doing? Good to see you. I'll take the goat, he says. He says he'll take the goat. I'll take the fence. Steve Tollison, how you doing? First like on YouTube. That's wonderful to hear. I'm going to say a quintuple good karma for you, my friend. 5 times the normal amount. Fantastic stuff. You're definitely going to find, put on an old coat. There's going to be like $5 in the pocket or something. Something good's going to happen. Probably. Maybe not. I don't know if it will, but it could. And this certainly doesn't hurt. Steve Tolson says, this girl's the goat. Greatest of all time fence lady. I agree. It is she does have big, beautiful fences there, doesn't she? Let's see. I mean, those are firm fences there too, right? They seem quite firm. I mean, they're quite large, but also firm. The fences, I mean, the slats for the fence. Let's see. Chef Rico says, hey, y'all, I think World War III may have just started. Russia launched a bunch of drones into Poland. I did see something about that. I suspect that it was some sort of an accident. We'll have to maybe we'll take a look. I don't have anything racked up for that, but maybe if we've got time, we'll take a look into that. Because there have been other issues before. It turns out it really wasn't what it looked like. I'm sure that anything like that would be magnified by the Ukrainian government, obviously, because they would like to see all of Europe join in, which would be a disaster. Let's see. Joey Nellis says, if you're into that sort of thing, we're talking about fences here. Let's see. Izzy says, thanks, Richie. Always look forward to my karma refill, Well, no problem. That's what I'm here for. That's why the universe sent me. Jeff Rigo says, it's the Cool Kids Club. Click everything. Yes, click everything. Everything. Rosie says, sextuple, septuple, octuple, maybe. I don't know. Stop trying to hurt my brain. Rosie says, so how old is that Greta child now? I don't know, like 40, probably. She'll never lose that Children of the Corn thing, though. That's going to stay with her forever. Joey says, well, the easy read is America started an economic war with all his allies and the world plus dog. That being said, it's a bit of a yawn. We can weather it. That is pretty much what happened. Although, I mean, it's not actually really so much of an economic war. I mean, it's a restructuring for sure. But everybody's pretty eager to still have a deal. I think there's a recognition that, okay, yeah, like we kind of knew this wasn't going to last forever, that this easy access, but limiting access is not going to last forever, except in Canada, and China, where we did the most retarded thing possible. Izzy says, really? Ice cream is bad for the planet now, too? What happens if you feed ice cream to your dog? It explodes and then sets the world on fire in global warming. It does a global warming is what happens. Rosie says, Rumble just notified me you are streaming. Well, thank you, Rumble. Thank you so much, Rumble. Danny, how you doing? Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone is having a great week. Well, that's a nice sentiment right there. Let's see. Chef Rico says, Canada will now ban ice cream and sugar drinks. Probably. I wouldn't doubt it. We've probably gotten a note from the UN or something already. So, yeah, I'm sure that's on the way. They're getting the paperwork ready, the bill ready for the opening of Parliament. And then they can also ban all free speech in the country, which I'm sure they're going to get on quickly, especially considering the polls are going the wrong way for the Liberals pretty quickly, quicker than I expected. Canuck Six Sugar, how you doing? He says, I enjoy the adulting sessions here. Yes. Rose says, we may be adults, but if you say the word sextuple, we might giggle. Sextuple. Everybody giggle. No, we're grown-ups. We're adults. We've heard words before. Denny says, I just subscribed to the new channel. Keep up the great work. I'm with you. Thank you so much. Did everybody else do it? Denny did it. Denny subscribed to the new channel right here. This one here that's called Radio Baloney News that has all the world news and the U.S. news and like all like the woke stuff and everything and the meme reviews. He did. He's subscribed to it. It's only like out of 5-6 days old. Please go there and subscribe. The algorithm is not helping me. Thank you, Denny. Awesome. Number one human ever. In fact, I'm going to say right now, Denny is nature's greatest miracle. I think we can all agree on that. Steve says, some people say I'm an adult. Well, I don't know. I think I assume so. What's going on? Brian Watson, how you doing? What was the state of emergency in Barrie? Crime. We'll get to it. Crime. It's Canada, after all. Don't forget it's Canada. Let's see. Chef Rigo says, I need to start building goat fences. Well, that's something not everybody knows, actually. A lot of people don't know this. If you build the fence, she will come. Obviously, you'll just wake up one morning, you'll be having a coffee, you'll be looking out the window at your fence, admiring your fence, and all of a sudden she'll be right there. But as soon as you go out, she'll run off into the woods, and you won't see her again. She's very skittish and shy. So, but you can leave a glass of Chardonnay out for her overnight, and in the morning, it'll be gone. All right. Joey asks, is her name Heidi? No, it's Fence Lady. Fence Lady. Fence Lady. Let's see. Canuck Six Trigger says, I often suggest to individuals who irritate me, they should try gargling goat balls. Goat balls, he says. Goat balls. I bet they wouldn't like that. All right. All right, I better just skip down a bit now because we got to get moving with the stories. All right. Joey says, name the last Yankee president that has unleashed sanctions on their allies like this. You won't find it. It's not normal. And the added bonus is it's fair entertainment. Well, there's always been, tariff negotiations of some kind. It's just that Trump has racked it up. So he's trying to redress the imbalance in that. All right. Radio Streamer, how you doing, Radio Streamer? Says sub harder, subscribe harder. Over here, new channel on YouTube. Radio Baloney News, go subscribe there now. It's super important. Everybody's doing it. Rosie says, I would be upset. I would be upset I've been replaced as nature's greatest miracle, but I've been elevated to degenerate and deplorable. Damn it, Rosie. You're also nature's greatest miracle. See, nature's greatest miracle. You have to understand that. It's not just one Radio Baloney viewer, right? It's more a spirit of Radio Baloney viewers, right? That can be inhabited by multiple people all at once. And they're all nature's greatest miracle. They're part of what is nature's greatest miracle, of course. But you got to subscribe and like the stream and stuff and send me money. And also go and like the new YouTube channel, Radio Baloney News. All right. All right, that's it. We got to move on. That's it. I could keep doing the chat all night, but we don't got all night. So let's move on. Nepal is hold on. Let's get this down a little bit. Why can I not? There we go. So government. Well, actually, let's start out here. So this is what's happening in Nepal. So here's a palace being, the prime minister's palace being burned down. Actually, hold on. Let's take a look here. So this is the main administrative building for the Nepali government. All right. So this is being burnt down, but it's one of a lot of buildings that's being burnt down in Nepal. So they're calling it the Gen Z uprising. Bloody revolution erupts over Facebook and Instagram ban as parliament is burned down. An ex-first lady killed in Nepal. More than 500 people have been injured in the violence. So Nepal's former first lady has been killed after a social media ban sparked unprecedented violence, leaving at least 19 people dead. Gen Z protesters set fire to Nepal's parliament and four-time Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli's house, forcing his resignation. Now, social media ban. So the government of Nepal, it will not surprise you, is communist. Government of Nepal is the central executive authority of the Federal Democratic Republic of Nepal. The government was led by Prime Minister KP Oli, who selects all the other ministers. The country has a coalition government since 2024, led by the CPN, that's the Communist Party of Nepal, and the Nepali Congress, colloquially the Congress Party, or simply the Congress, is a social democratic political party in Nepal, largest party in the country. So you've got socialist, you've got straight up communist, right? Coalition. So what do communists like to do? They like to censor, because really it's their last resort. Well, it's not quite their last resort, because they also have monopoly on violence. But yeah, they always want to censor, because people cannot be allowed to accurately describe what they are experiencing under a communist government. Let's go a little further here. Protesters run through the Singha Durbar, the seat of Nepal's government's various ministries and offices. So these are ministries and offices here. They've just taken over. This is a full-on revolution. Here we go. A protester throws a photograph of Nepal Prime Minister Khadga Prasad Oli in the fire. Here, this guy's wearing a Nepal police, protective stuff here. He's got one of their shields. Protester wearing flak jacket and carrying a shield snatched from a policeman shouts slogans. They're calling it, you can see most of these people are very young. They're calling it, the Gen Z revolution. So the wife of former Prime Minister Carney reportedly died after she became trapped inside the couple's home that was set ablaze by protesters. So there is definitely violence and death. Her death comes as at least 500 have been left injured in the violent riots which erupted earlier this week. Nepal's capital, Kathmandu, was pictured engulfed in thick black smoke as military helicopters tried to quell the riots. Terrifying pictures show flames tearing through the Singha Durbar Palace, which houses government offices, as crowds gathered outside. Let's go here. Nepal's anti-government protests are a powder keg moment that could change the country for years. Well, I would say so. They've overthrown the government. The second day of intense protests felt like something seismic. The leadership lifted restrictions on social media. So they did lift the restrictions on social media, but a little bit too late, it looks like. And the prime minister resigned, but that wasn't enough to satisfy the thousands defying the curfew. As we flew into Kathmandu, you could already see from the sky the fury playing out on the streets below. Huge plumes of smoke rose over the Nepalese capital. It was a second day of intense protests, and it soon felt like something seismic. On the ground, it was kinetic and chaotic. We landed just before the army closed the airport. The protesters were minutes away. On the road, a constant stream of young people sped on by on motorbikes, honking their horns as they raced towards the parliament. Some were carrying batons, others guns, some simply using their voices, declaring a revolution. We watched as they set fire to a police station. Many, already angry, were incensed by the deaths of 19 people on Monday, accusing the police of using live ammunition to silence dissent. It's a communist government. Communist government. Let's see. Communist Party of Nepal. The party was formed through the merger of the Communist Party of Nepal, Communist Party of Nepal, Marxist-Leninist, Communist Party of Nepal, Marxist-Leninist, Communist Party of Nepal, United Marxist. That's a lot of Marxist in there, people. A lot. It's not surprising, people. It's not surprising that the people there would be revolting. Government officials in Nepal are being hunted down, chased, stripped, and beaten in broad daylight. The fury has reached the doors of power, with protesters setting fire to the homes of top leaders and even torching the parliament building. Now, I do want to say, first off, that it is actually democracy, and of course there's going to be corruption and suppression, that sort of thing. But it is actually a parliamentary democracy. People did vote for this, and now they're not happy. I guess the thing is, it's very hard to get rid of socialists or communists once you vote them in. Let's take a look here. So here's somebody being carried. A lot of chaos. There's somebody being chased. Are these government officials? Government officials, they're saying. You can't really confirm it here. Nepal's finance minister, stripped of clothes. He's actually wearing clothes there. And chased in a river by angry protesters. Hold on. Chased into a river by angry protesters during deadly anti-corruption protests. It looks like he does have some clothes on there. All right, what do we have here? Look at that. That looks like revolution. Let's keep going. In Nepal, citizens went house to house to catch corrupt communist politicians. It may be, because I have to be honest with you, I've not spent a lot of time thinking about Nepal before this. It may be that it is a democracy there, or at least that's what Wikipedia says, but it may be that they still like communism. They just don't like the communists that they got leading now. Let's see. Here we go. So what's this? In Nepal, citizens capture communist politicians and throw them into the river. So this is a lot. Now, they're saying that it's because of the social media ban. That seems to be the last straw. So it's following years of corruption and repression. And then poverty for the people, right? Just poor management of the country, because that's what you always get with central planning. Nepal government was getting exposed for corruption, so they banned social media apps. But with almost 14 million young people, they can't ignore Gen Z. This generation won't stay silent. Things have to get really bad before you see this stuff happening. Really bad. Pleb reporter, government of Nepal has collapsed after censoring social media in their country. This is a good lesson for our leaders in the Western world. Please don't attempt it. Well, you know that the Carney government in Canada they're going to be bringing back their Bill C-63, the Online Harms Act, the Pre-Crime Act, the Social Media Censorship Act, the insanely Orwellian crazy act. In fact, you can look it up on my channel. I made a big video going through the bill itself, reading the actual lines from the bill, so that you can see I'm not just making it up. Look up Online Harms Act, Radio Baloney, wherever you're watching right now, you can find my video on that. And you can see exactly what's in it. Terrifying. They've already got it in the, something similar in the EU and in the UK as well, which is why you see comedians like Graham Linehan being arrested. So this is, this is crazy. Let's see. In Nepal, citizens storm the Communist Party headquarters, tear down hammer and sickle flag. I stand with Nepalese who are fighting against their corrupted communist politicians. Look at that. Let's see if we can get a better, like right at the beginning there, can we see a better image of the flag? Well, it is red. So Nepal in chaos as uprising erupts. What's going on here? Citizens are hunting down officials, stripping and beating them in broad daylight. Actually, hold on. All right. So I think we've seen enough to know what's going on there. So this is something we'll have to monitor. We'll keep an eye on this, and we'll keep coming back to this as it develops. So I would look forward to another segment on this on Friday. I want to see what you guys have to say about it. Let's see. And actually, first, I want to see if any of you guys actually did subscribe to the new channel. Let's see. Because I'm going to have to keep reminding everybody for a while we get this channel up off the ground. Let's see. Oh, we got a couple. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Awesome. Nice. Thank you very much. But I'm going to keep reminding people while we get it started, because we just got to get this thing moving. All right. Radio Baloney News, new channel on YouTube, all the world news, U.S. news, meme stuff, all the woke mind virus stuff is going to go onto this channel, this YouTube channel now. Rumble, don't worry. Everything's going onto the same channel. You guys are not affected. X the same. But YouTube, there's the Radio Baloney channel, the one you're on right now. And then there's Radio Baloney News, the new one. Help me out. The algorithm is already throttling this channel, so I need you guys. All right. Let's go back to, while we talk about this, let's have that there. Okay. All right. We're going to go back a bit. Hold on. I really want to see what you guys had to say about this. Chef Rico says their leaders banned social media and ice cream. They did because of global warming. They banned the social media to stop people from talking about how bad communist governments are, and then they banned ice cream to save save the planet, stop global warming. Maybe they're burning ice cream there, actually, which would be kind of counterproductive, I guess. Let's Rosie says, is that and burning a building all it takes to get a resignation? Well, in Nepal, it does. So they know what the line is now. Let's see. Yeah, Kim Jong-un is Kim Jong-un is still in power, Radio Streamer. You're right. So let's see. Chef Rico, I'll give it 10 minutes until CNN equates this to January 6th. Probably. They've been doing some crazy lying on CNN lately, especially over that Irina Zalutska. They're such ghouls. It's so ghoulish. Let's see. Brian Watson says 19 dead, I heard. Yep. Well, over 500, they're saying now. Rosie says, what was their purported reason for banning social media? It was to stop the spread of misinformation and disinformation. The same stuff we hear everywhere. Chef Rico says, mostly peaceful protests. That's what CNN is going to say. Although CNN won't like it because they're deposing communists. So, yeah, they won't like that one bit. Let's see. Joey says, what's worse, a commie government or a fascist one? Like, the one in Ukraine. Well, I don't know that Ukraine is actually a fascist government. It's more like, it seems more like a kleptocracy there. Fascism and communism are just sister ideologies. So, like, China is now just like a neo-fascist country, right? It didn't take much for them. It just took them one step over. Capitalism with Chinese characteristics, as they call it. You've got a Chinese communist office in every company with over, I think, 500 people or something in China. So it's that merging of government and the corporate, where, of course, the government is dominant, right? But the corporations, the corporate leaders can just, they can just make money. I mean, and I'm pro-capitalism. I'm just not pro, like, fascism capitalism, right? I'm not pro capitalism with Chinese characteristics. But it's that merging of the corporate and the government into with having the same goals, right? And totalitarianism. So they're just the same. I mean, who was worse, Hitler or Stalin? I mean, they're both just as bad. I mean, I guess Stalin did kill actually more people, but you get to a certain level, and it's just the Mount Rushmore of most evil people in the world. Let's see. Rosie says, yeah, right. And they voted for Maduro in all 3 times in Venezuela. Yeah, a lot of questions about those elections there. Jeffrigo says, Richie, who runs Wikipedia? Cabes. They do. But stuff like just basic stuff like, don't go to Wikipedia to find out who Tommy Robinson is, right? Don't bother, right? But just stuff like, what's this country? Like, what's its GDP? What's the government? What's the name of the party? Stuff like that, it's fine for. And the stuff, I mean, last time I checked, I mean, the stuff on like the Holodomor, decolonization, collectivization, that's sort of the Cultural Revolution in China, it's all pretty good. You can go off that. That's not, I mean, I'm sure they've tried to throw in some bias somewhere in that, but it's actually pretty good. You're not going to walk away. You're not going to go to Wikipedia and look up, the dekulakization and look up the kulaks and walk away thinking, oh, Stalin was actually pretty cool about it. You're definitely not. At least last time I checked, they might have changed it since then. Let's see. Rosie says most people wonder about Nepal several times a day. Rosie says no. All right. There's too much chat. I got to move down a little bit. Danny says, unfortunately, the Western governments will never learn from trying to control people with censorship. Well, it's they'll never stop doing it because it's part of their ideology. It's part of progressivism. It's part of woke. Mickey says, I'm having trouble with the new channel. Would you please post the URL? I don't know how to do that. Just go to, it should come up. Just go to Radio Baloney News or youtube.com/@Radio Baloney News. So @Radio Baloney News. That's what you want to do. In fact, maybe I'll just type it in. Hold on. 1 second. @Radio Baloney News. I'm just putting it into the chat right now. So go to YouTube and you can put that in there, and that should work no problem. Radio Baloney News. I did spell it correctly. Okay, there you go. All right. Mickey, how you doing? Good to see ya. Steve Tollison says, I subbed the other day, liked and made a comment on all 5 videos I watched. Well, that means you're the best person. He's a beautiful person, Steve Tollison. Everybody knows that. Turtles, good to see you again. All right. Mao. Don't forget Mao. Yes, Hitler, Stalin, Mao. Greatest villains in human history. Let's see. Well, I mean, Genghis Khan's pretty bad too. Turtle says, did you see the Muslims threatening to burn down Notre Dame in exchange for Muslim killers prison? Well, I think they already burnt it once in Paris. I did see something about that. I don't have anything racked up here, but maybe we'll get to that later if we've got time. Steve Tollison says, with all the windows burning in that one photo, it reminded me of Biden's communist speech. Hold on. Let me put something else on. I'm going to put the fence thing on. With all the windows burning in that one photo, reminds me of Biden's communist speech with all the dark red lighting. Yes, the red speech. Very ominous. In fact, you know what? Let me just pull it up. Let me pull up an image of that. I've used it many times. It really dark. Biden red speech. Hold on. Like, look at this. Look at this. And they called Trump, look at this. They called Trump a fascist. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, they didn't just like say, let's have a speech and just set this stuff up. No, this was all planned. Look, they've got the lights and everything, the light show, right? This was set up very intentionally to look like this, to be a very kind of foreboding, ominous kind of speech. It makes you wonder what they had planned, exactly what they had planned. But in any case, a bit more chat. Then we're going to just get started on the next story. Rosie says Wikipedia removes race. The Carey sisters were murdered by 4 men or 2 men and 2 teenagers. Yeah, that's the sort of stuff that Wikipedia does. If you just want to get like how many people died in this, at least last time I checked, I don't use it very often, but you go to like Mao's famines, right? Like when he told all the farmers to kill the sparrows, and then there was an explosion of insects and a giant famine. Like that stuff, they're pretty good. Let's see. All right. Turtle says simply, fence lady. Fence lady. She's great. Let's see. Turtle says, did anyone see the clip with Lady Gaga at the awards show? Demons. Demons. That doesn't surprise me. Demons. Do I have a button for that? Hold on. Lady Gaga. And then how about this for Lady Gaga? Oh, that one's a little bit too long. Remind me, we'll go find that later, okay? Because we got lots of news to do here. Uncle Frank, how you doing? Good to see you. He says you can almost see the horns on Biden's head. Absolutely. Biden was a bad man. He was a bad man. I mean, a guy who would like refuse to acknowledge his own granddaughter, that beautiful little girl, for a political reason, or maybe just because he's just a bad guy. As a test for a man, he failed that. You're not a good man when you do that. Steve Tollison says, no, just makes Biden a puppet. Well, there was obviously a cabal running him, right? So he was 95% of the time he was frozen in a cryogenic chamber. And then they would just wake him up, put him in a car, plug him some machine into the cigarette lighter that kept him alive until he got to the thing and on the way they'd, inject him with all kinds of stimulants and things. And teleprompters said he was barely able to do that, but I guess just well enough. And that was it. And then they threw him away like a useless old puppet, I guess puppet. All right, let's get back to the story. So what are we doing? We did the Nepal stuff. Let's go here. So this is Irish comedian Graham Linehan, and he's speaking out about his arrest by armed police at Heathrow Airport over tweets mocking trans is what happened. So he moved to the United States and to Arizona, and I guess he had to go back to the UK, and as soon as he stepped off the plane, they were waiting for him. And maybe we'll quickly just take a quick look, because I've got that in here, at the tweets that he was getting in trouble for. Let's see. So here is like this. If a trans-identified male is in a female-only space, he is committing a violent, abusive act. Make a scene, call the cops, and if all else fails, punch him in the balls. So clearly a joke, right? Clearly a joke, the whole thing. Like, man in a woman's bathroom, right? It's a man, so it's clearly not a woman. So women don't have balls, so you wouldn't be able to punch them in them. It's clearly a joke. And this is enough to get him arrested and facing prison time in the UK. So, and actually, before we get to that, let's just show you some of the audio from him being arrested. And he was not happy. I mean, you can't imagine your shock, right? You can't imagine his shock. He's stepping off a plane, and there's like 5 armed cops there, just waiting for him. This comedian, the guy who wrote Father Ted. Let's take a listen.
It is alleged that on the 19th of April 2025, you published a post on X that was deemed to be intended to stir up hatred and incite violence on the grounds of sexual orientation. What was the post? I'll tell you.
So they saying they can't even tell him what he did, right? So you just throw in an element of, a Kafka-esque element into this as well.
You sure? Comedy writer, wrote Father Ted. You idiot. You're under arrest. I'm under arrest. You know what this country looks like to America? Do you know what it looks like to America?
So you're saying, do you know what this country looks like to America, where he's been living with a First Amendment and a Second Amendment as well? But he's saying, do you know what this country looks like to America? The leftists don't care, right? They hate America. They hate free speech. They hate freedom, right? So they don't care. They don't want to be like the United States.
I'm going to sue you into the ground. I'm going to sue you into the ground. I'm going to sue you into the ground. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you all. I dare you.
The question is, he's going to sue him into the ground. The question is, the leftists, the progressives, the wokes, the radical leftists are really great at worming their way into positions of power. They're excellent at it. That's what happened. While everybody was asleep, every institution was taken over by fanatics who would actively threaten anybody who would question anything they were doing with the old magic spell, right? They'd cite that incantation of, well, it turns out that you're just an ist or a phobe. I mean, this magic spell's broken now, but they're still in power. They still have these positions. They still run the institutions. In the UK, can you get, whether it's in the criminal courts or civil courts, can you get an objective judge, a non-woke judge? That's the question.
Sir, calm down. Calm down. There's no need for it. There's no need for it.
Calm down. There's no need for it. I'd say there is a need for it, frankly. I would say there is. Being arrested, having cops waiting for you to get off the plane to arrest you for tweets, I would say there's definitely a need for it. Let's hear him talk about the arrest here on GB News.
When I stepped off the plane, there were 3 policemen on one side, 2 on the other, just flanking the doorway. And as soon as I saw them, I said, "Don't tell me trans activists sent you," And they just, I have to say, the policemen who picked me up were really decent, They brought me to a quiet area where I wouldn't be embarrassed, and they told me I was under arrest. But because I was just so disgusted that I went nuts. I was absolutely infuriated. I said, "Do you know how you look to America? Do you know what America thinks of Britain at the moment?" And, it's nothing to do with them. They don't care. They're not making the rules. So finally, I was so incandescent with anger. They did talk about putting cuffs on me. So I said, "Please just let me calm down. You're not bringing me through an airport in cuffs for defending women's rights." And they went off and they discussed it, and they agreed to bring a van around the back. And I went down and I thought, "Oh, okay, that's not so bad. That's not so bad." But then they opened the back of it, and I had to sit in a little tiny cell in the back, like that's like, that.
It's so Orwellian. I mean, it's not fully Airstrip 1 yet, because here he is. He's on GB News talking about it, but it's terrifying. Chef Rico asks, if you're trans on Mars, does that mean you're an Earthling? No, if you're trans on Mars, it means you think you're from Venus. And if you're non-binary, it means you're from your anus. Let's see. Denny says, I loved Father Ted. It was a great show. It was. I used to watch it with my family. We were all roaring, laughing. Let's see. Nevada liked it. Let's see. All right, but before we get back to the chat, I've got one more clip here. But what is this? This is a warning to everybody else, right? So high profile, much beloved. He's an old school liberal. He's just like a classical liberal. Every one of his, I think almost every one of his friends is the people that he had worked with, people whose careers he had made, completely abandoned him or just outright denounced him. And I say this all the time. If you're on the left, you don't have friends, right? You have future struggle sessioners, future denouncers. They're just waiting for you to trip up. They're just waiting for you to say the wrong thing, and they will join in the frenzy. They will join in the moral panic immediately and try to destroy you and feel good about it. So, you can't win the woke game. How about this? So here he's talking to Megyn Kelly. And this was before he was arrested. He's talking about WPATH here. So that's the World Professional Association of Transgender Health. That is the authority to which all the other authorities appeal, essentially to wash their hands of their guilt and their sin. Like the AMA, the Endocrine Society, all of them. They say, well, the WPATH says, so that's what we go with. They have, we go with their standards of care. It's a completely pseudoscientific organization. Let's take a listen to this. It's basically a big scam.
And WPATH, the organization that sets all these protocols, is a bunch of lunatics. I know you follow Redux, Megan.
Yeah,
but
I love them.
They discovered that WPATH on their website were linking to a site called the Eunuch Archives. And the Eunuch Archives is like a repository of short pornographic stories. Short pornographic stories about castration. Okay?
Oh, good God.
Something like 4,000 stories or 40%, I can't remember what it was, were tagged minor.
That is so disturbing.
So that means that the people who are setting up these protocols, and these protocols are all over the world, are
including
also
here,
linking to a site that is for men who are aroused by the idea of children putting their penises on.
My God.
That's WPATH.
Like you say, it's hard to actually understand unless you live it, unless you're really neck deep in it and you see how sick this is.
Yeah, it's sick. Watch my video, WPATH Files. It was the author of it is Mia Hughes, but I look up Radio Baloney WPATH Files on Rumble, and you can see that there video is about, there were thousands of files leaked from WPATH. These were internal communications, including Zoom meetings. And watch that video or look up the WPATH files yourself. Go straight to the source, and you'll see they have no idea what they're doing. It's made up they're just making it up as they go along. It's completely pseudoscientific. They know that the young people that they're committing these gender experiments on cannot give informed consent. They know this. This is all proven. It should be the greatest medical scandal. Well, one of the greatest. We've had quite a few of those lately, haven't we? It should have been a week leading every newscast, every news hour. CNN, MSNBC should have devoted, if they had any integrity whatsoever, should have devoted, hundreds of hours to it. But of course not, because politics, because political, because woke. But in any case, so he talks about women's rights versus trans, and also about a lot about the gender medical experiments on children. And you're not allowed to do that, right? You're not allowed to accurately describe reality in the UK, or you will be arrested. So he's being made an example of. So they're taking this guy who, the creator of the beloved series Father Ted, and they're making an example of him, right? To frighten anybody else who would stick their neck out. So that's the UK now, as it moves ever closer to making fiction real, to becoming the real life Airstrip 1 from 1984. Let's go back to the chat. But before that, everybody on YouTube, Rumble people, don't worry about this. YouTube people, new channel, all the world news. I have to keep doing this. I'm sorry. World news, US news, meme reviews, all that stuff, all the woke mind virus stuff is not going to go on the main channel that you're watching right now. It's going to go on Radio Baloney News. Please go there and subscribe. That's where all that content is going to be. Rumble people, it's all going to be just on the usual channel that you watch. So don't worry. No split there. Do we need a new video? Hold on. What have we got here? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? There's no way that would spill. There's no way. Almost feels like this is kind of like rigged in some way for something to happen. Maybe something wonderful to happen. Something wonderful did happen. Well, that's good. Those guys are awesome. Should we do an ad read quickly as well? What the hell's going on here? Let's see. Ad read. Let's see. What do we got? What kind of ads do we got here? Well, they all pay basically nothing, so it doesn't really matter. How about we do a 1775 coffee ad? Let's do that. All right, everybody. Still haven't tried 1775 coffee? Now's your shot. The 1775 starter kit just dropped. Only 1,000 units. That's exclusive, people. You're getting the bold dark roast that hits hard, the smooth medium roast, and the vitality mushroom coffee for clean energy and laser focus. No crash, no communism. All single origin, small batch, toxin-free and mold-free. Thank God I hate mold. Plus, you're also getting, get this, a gold spoon clip, because freedom isn't scooped with plastic. Everybody knows that's silly. A frother strong enough to stir up your coffee and your mother-in-law's opinions. I hope she's not one of those old commie hags. Uh-oh. And a black 1775 tumbler. That's $170 worth of coffee and gear, yours for only $99. That's less than $100. This is for the ones who've been watching 1775 blow up on Rumble, wondering if it's actually worth it. Well, guess what? Spoiler alert, it is. Go to 1775coffee.com, 1775coffee.com/studio, that's /studio, and grab your starter kit before they're gone. And they got to be going fast. Bowl, beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something, just like Rumble does. Is it free speech? You know it's free speech. Nailed it. Nailed it. Nailed it. Retired Coastie Chief, how you doing? Good to see you again. Ad read, Westwood One. We'll get to that. We will get to that. We're only an hour in. There's more ads to come. All right. Everybody like the stream, by the way. Get your free good karma right now. It's going fast. Get your good karma. Everybody subscribe to the channels. Everybody also become channel members. That's the best thing you could ever do. Let's see. What Spambot's back in the chat? What the hell? You're supposed to be taking a nap. Get some sleep, man. What are you, crazy? Let's see. No, we're good to, and we're glad to see you. Let's see. All right. Hold on, people. JJ Nevada says, I'm making Richie earn my like tonight. No noodles, no like. I don't know. We only have so much time, though. We've already done an hour, but I do want that like, though. I do want that like. Well, let me see how many likes we've got. I mean, maybe I don't need all the likes tonight. I don't know. No, damn it. No, we need more likes. Damn it. Damn it. I've got to show the noodles. Should I interrupt the show just to go and find the noodles? I don't know. I don't want to waste time. I don't want to lose people, but I want that like. I want that like. God damn it. Just give me a moment, people. Be patient. Just have to find something. I mean, it's not like you guys aren't going to like this. I know you guys are going to like this. I know the gentlemen in the chat are going to like this quite a bit, but it just takes a minute to find it because I've got so many bookmarks on X here. Let's see. That's not it. Must be getting close. Where is it? Come on. We're killing time here. Come on. I'm losing the audience. No. Quick. Come on. Help me find this. X. Come on. Don't hide from me. Cooking tab. There we go. Okay, quick. 3, 2, 1. Noodle time. Noodle time. This one I find really relaxing, really pleasant. It's mesmerizing to me. It's very cathartic. It just calms me down, you know? It just soothes the beast in me. Back to the chat. So there you go, Nevada. I am expecting a like now. Thank you very much. Spambot Fodder says, always respect the wet white t-shirt. Exactly. White t-shirt. I'm going to say right now, like I don't really understand why we still need pride parades and all that, but I'll say I'm fine with it as long as we can also have a national wet t-shirt day. I think that would be fine. You could have the Pride Day and then the National Wet T-Shirt Day. I don't see what's wrong with that. What's wrong with this? Nothing. It's perfect. Let's see. Trudeau Survivor says, I was wearing my... And how you doing, Trudeau Survivor? I was wearing my Trump 2024 shirt today, walking home, minding my own business, and a 50-year-old twink walking his dog started screaming at me. F you, get the F out of Canada. And went on for 1 minute. 50-year-old twink. Oh, dear.
Not in this lifetime, Sonny.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
What is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
Was it anything like this?
It rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's like, it's not good. I'll tell you that right now. That's funny. That's damn funny. Izzy says, coffee ad, my life is now complete. Commie hate to 1776 out of 10. People, that's almost the most out of 10 you can get. Thank you, Izzy. Rosie says, ad read, no toxins, no mold, no commies. Growls, enthusiasm, excellent. 1777 out of 10. That, my friends, is the most you can get out of 10. Oh, and it feels good. All right. God damn it, there's too much chat. All right. Chefrigo says, I was too young for wet t-shirt contests. I'm still pissed. Female mud wrestling, missed that too. I'll try and find some for the no cooking tab bookmark for the channel. I'll try and find some. Yeah, I guess you're not allowed to do wet t-shirts contests anymore. It's very sad. We lost that. What they took from us, huh? What they took from us. Let's see. All right, I'm going to skip to right to the end, and then we got to move on. Jay Nevada says, I just hit that like button. Everybody be like JJ Nevada. Hit that like button. Chef Rico says, I like watching fellow culinarians. However, if I wore that shirt, it wouldn't be the same. I would not be showing the clip on the channel. I'm just going to be honest with you. All right, what else do we have on the UK police state here? I think we had some other stuff as well. Oh, this is interesting. So, you know Banksy, right? You know Banksy? That artist, that kind of crazy artist. He's been putting up some stuff like this. Look at that, a judge with his gavel there beating a protester. So what are they saying up here? Elon Musk reposted this. The more they try to cover it up, the more it will appear. I think it's a comment on the two-tier justice system in the UK. Well, 1 hour after the new Banksy was revealed that was mocking the courts for censoring people, the courts censored it by covering it up. Let me repeat that. 1 hour after the new Banksy was revealed that was mocking the courts for censoring people, the court censored it by covering it up, proving his point. Airstrip 1 gets ever closer. And look at these guys here guarding it. Are they embarrassed? What is going through their minds? Do they know they're participating in something wrong? In the destruction of their own civilization? I don't know. You'd think there'd have to be some shame involved, though, right? Oh, hold on. Let's go back. All right. What else have we got? Okay, so that's Graham Linehan again there. All right, we got all of that. Next tab. From Tommy Robinson, and nobody has been more oppressed, persecuted than Tommy Robinson for speaking the truth. A caravan sprayed with Free Palestine graffiti sat untouched for 6 months. Locals added a St. George's cross, and it was removed in 72 hours. This is what we're dealing with. On Saturday, change begins. They're having a big demonstration on Saturday. Who knows how that's going to go? There will be agent provocateurs. There always are. There's always leftists that are going to go and do, false flags, that sort of thing. There's always leftist Antifa types that will show up with like swastikas, that sort of thing. But here you go. Genocide West. Well, let's watch. Hold on.
Locals in a small East Sussex village just next to Brighton, they're outraged after the local council did not remove a caravan that had been covered in pro-Palestine graffiti for 6 months. The graffiti read, as you can see on your screens, genocide, West Bank, Free Palestine, Gaza forever. But the caravan was then subsequently painted with the St. George's cross with the addition of 2 flags placed on it. And guess what? Just 3 days later, a tow truck came along and magically took it away. So why did they supposedly act so swiftly? Once it was painted with the St. George's flag of the country, it was actually in. Let's speak now with 2 local residents who took that action. It's right.
All right. So the St. George Cross, the Union Jack, terrifies the Labour government, terrifies leftists, like flags, just your country's flag, terrifies leftists everywhere. They hate it, right? I mean, the goal is to destroy it, to make it, a footnote in history, to rob all meaning from it, unless it's negative meaning, right? From the people who say Canada has a continuing genocide. Who said that?
I have a slight learning disability.
That's who said that. Justin Trudeau. Don't elect people like Justin Trudeau to run your countries. All right. Let's see. What else do we have here? Oh, so here's something else that's going great. I'm sure is really popular with the public. UK judge wishes convicted Al-Qaeda terrorist who killed 52 in London bus bombings all the best as he prepares to walk free in Britain. Sir Robert J. sympathized with Al-Qaeda terrorist Haroon Aswat, who will be released from the hospital without ankle tag monitoring, because of a loophole which forbids checks on psychiatric patients. Despite police fears, he remains a threat. What even is the UK anymore? Why is he still in the UK? Why is he still in the UK? Why is he still there? Why was he not on the first plane out? What is the purpose? I mean, when I say that the radical leftists, the gender, the race communists have infiltrated every institution across the West, they have, right? In the United States, the United States made the right choice. It took, when it came to that fork in the road in 2024 between, managed or micromanaged decline and self-hatred. And the choice was between I need some more coffee. Hold on. Talking nonstop for an hour and 15 does that to me. The United States had a choice. It came to a fork in the road. One side micromanaged decline, equity, a radical wokeism, self-hatred, destruction of your own history. And the other side was doubling down on Western civilization. No, this country is good. This country is great. We're going to preserve it. We're going to preserve the traditions, the Constitution, free speech, everything, and individual rights, everything that makes the country great. And Western civilization is great, and it should be. The United States made the right choice, but you still got gender and race communists at the top of those institutions, including all throughout the deep state, which makes it hard. The battle's not over. But at least the U.S. has made a good start on it. UK, is it too late? This guy here is just apparently like every politician, every judge, every journalist. So that's what happens when everybody falls asleep and lets the lunatics take over the asylum. Here's Douglas Murray talking about the UK. I'm not sure exactly when this is from, but it's relevant.
Well, that's one of the things, Julia, that I take away from this. This is why I say I don't recognize our country anymore. I really don't. I don't know why we have given in to Islamists and terrorists. I don't know why we've done it. Why is it that Saturday after Saturday, people parade through the streets of London, calling for jihad, praising Hamas, praising terrorists, and clambering over and defiling our sacred war monuments? Why do they get to do that every Saturday, but I can't speak in a theatre on Shaftesbury Avenue to a packed theatre, mainly of Jews? Why is it that if you call for violence against Jews day after day on the streets of London, that's A-OK with the Metropolitan Police? But if Jews want to congregate in central London, apparently it's not okay, and we'll have to retreat to another venue. I'm not a victim here, and I'm not claiming any victimhood. I don't believe in that. I don't care. I'm not going to shut up. I'll continue speaking. This is my country. London is my city, and I expect to be able to do what I want in my city. But why is it that we have Hamas supporters and all these others who defile our monuments, defile our country, hate our countries, literally spit on our country week after week, but you're not allowed to show solidarity with the Jews or with Israel? It's a despicable situation, and it's come about because of a generational cowardice by politicians of all parties and by the Metropolitan Police and others. I think it's appalling, because I know one thing for sure, Julia. The people who hate the Israelis, the people who hate the Jews, the people who we're watching at the moment marching through central London, they hate Britain as much as they hate Israel. It's just that Britain is first. We're all going to be next. So I'd say stand up in whichever way you can. And if you're an usher in a theatre, well, do your darn job. It's what you're employed for. But the idea that we have to keep giving in, and that this society, of all societies, Julia, we used to be a resilient society in Britain. The country we were brought up in, our parents' generation, our grandparents' generation, were resilient people. We don't have to show that much resilience these days. We just need to show a bit of backbone. Where is it, Britain? Where have you gone?
He's even better at ranting than I am. And I agree with that 100%. And the mobs demonstrating in the UK are exactly the same. The mobs demonstrating in the UK are exactly the same as the ones demonstrating here in Toronto, in Montreal, in Vancouver, and the ones in the United States. They're the same in throughout Europe. They're exactly the same. They hate their host countries, right? I am not going to support the people who chant "Death to Canada" and burn the Canadian flag. They chant "Death to Canada," "Death to Israel," "Death to the United States." I'm not supporting them. I feel the same way as Douglas Murray does here. If they feel that strongly about Israel, I'm for Israel, quite frankly, because I ain't with them, because they feel the exact same way. Those people, those mobs, they feel exactly the same way about us. So I'm not with them, and being with them is suicidal stupidity, in my opinion. Well, YouTube's not going to like this. Sure not going to like this at all. That's why I rely on you, good people. You good people. You adults. You people who expect to be spoken to as adults, spoken with as adults, because you've earned that respect as adults. Subscribe to the new channel, Radio Baloney News. The one that you're on right now on YouTube is not going to have the U.S. news, the EU news, European news, world news. It's not going to have the meme reviews anymore. That stuff's all going on this new channel. It's only like 5 days old. It's very small still. I'm going to rely on you guys to go there and subscribe to this, and you'll get all of the great clips and stuff that's not Canadian news. So the channel you're on right now will have live streams and Canadian news. Everything else is going to go on here. Rumble people, don't worry. Everything's going on the same channel. Don't worry. All right. Where was I? I was here. Yeah, so I had my little rant about that as well.
That's one of the things, Julia, that I take away.
Now, I think Douglas Murray got a bad rap, that thing with Dave Smith. I think that people intentionally misunderstood what he was saying in that. I'm not going to get into it now. He wasn't saying that nobody who's not an expert should be able to talk on certain subjects. That's not what he was saying. I think he was saying just show a little bit of humility is really what it came down to, right? If you're a comedian and you're not really an expert in the Middle East, right? Like, you can talk about it, but show a little bit of humility. Don't be like screaming and shouting at people. I think that's all he was saying, which I agree with as well. You can talk about anything, but don't try and pass yourself off as something that you're not. And I like Dave Smith as well, right? But in any case, and I like Joe Rogan too. And I also like Douglas Murray. I mean, I think the great thing about whatever this movement is that we're in, I mean, all the categories have shifted. Half of us used to be liberals, right? Whatever this is, the categories have all shifted. But the one thing that it is, and it should be, and it should remain, is a big tent for people who don't have to agree, who don't think we all have to agree on everything all the time, right? I mean, there are certain fundamental things, free speech. Like, if you're in favor of hate speech laws, well, I just have to disagree with you. And I have to say, well, you're not really in this group, but I'll try and convince you to come in properly. But we don't have to agree about everything all the time and overreact to misunderstandings, right? That's what the left does. The left polices itself. When you're a leftist now, when you're a progressive, you don't have friends. You've got future denouncers. You've got future struggle sessioners. Right? You don't have friends. That's what Graham Linehan found out. All of his lefty friends abandoned him immediately as soon as it was politically expedient for them. As soon as they could get just one atom of virtue bucks, one little atom of virtue signaling goodness, they all immediately abandoned him. We're not like that. We shouldn't be like that. And if we become like that, we're going to fail. And then the commies really will take over. I almost thought about canceling the stream tonight because I was feeling like crap, but I'm glad I didn't now because, man, I'm getting some good rants in. I'm expressing myself, I think, quite well when I'm not tripping over my tongue. All right, maybe we'll get back to the chat. What's this here? Hold on. Yes, so here we go. Here's the demonstration. Tommy Robinson. In 6 days' time, this is from September 7th. In 6 days' time, we don't just unite the kingdom, but every freedom-loving patriot across the world. Crushed and silenced for so long. Change is coming. Thank you for the video. So there's going to be a big demonstration. I think it's going to be huge. And Tommy Robinson will be there. And the most persecuted man probably in the Western world. And for what? For accurately describing reality, for talking about the grooming gangs, what was happening in his country and in the working class community, Luton, which he grew up in. For just telling the truth. He's been to jail how many times now? 3 times, 4 times? And he wouldn't have been sent to jail if he hadn't been doing this. If he hadn't been telling the truth. He would never have seen a day in prison in their legal system if he hadn't been accurately describing reality in ways that the government doesn't like. All right. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on this, and I'm sure we'll talk about this on Sunday. Anything else here? Let's see. Yeah, there's something rising. There's like a real patriotism arising in the UK. We've been told and made to feel ashamed of being British for too long now. It's brilliant to see us reject this. So let's take a look. Hold on.
My soul, beautiful, beautiful people.
All right. Yeah, so something's afoot. Something is happening. All right. Let's go back to the chat for a second. Don't forget to subscribe to the new YouTube channel right there. Let's go back to the chat and let's see if you guys are actually subscribed. I got to check in on you guys, make sure you're doing it. Yeah, another one. We got a few tonight. Thank you very much to everybody who's going to the new channel. All right. Okay. I think this ended well. This one ended well. Let's find another one though for now. Well, that's always a nice one. It's a classic. How about the boat lady? Although we have another boat lady. Oh, I like the lingerie football too, but let's see. This one is my favorite boat show. So this is from the boat channel. So I'll put this one on for now. Hope you guys like boats. Let's get back to the chat. What's going on? Let's see. Rosie says, Murray rant, 10 out of 10. Richie rant, 11 out of 10. We guys should do it better. Well, thank you so much, Rosie. Very kind. Always so kind to me. Let's see. Oh, wait a second. What's going on here? Trudeau Survivor was gifted a membership by Turtles. Turtles, guess what? Trudeau Survivor gifting a membership to Turtles makes Trudeau Survivor the best person ever, the best person who's ever lived. Whoever your historical heroes are, I don't know, like Amelia Earhart, guess what? Human garbage compared to Trudeau Survivor. Gandhi, human garbage compared to Trudeau Survivor. I don't know, maybe you're like into science. Einstein, dog shit compared to Trudeau Survivor. Thank you so much. It is really the best thing that anybody can do for my channel is to gift memberships. It's awesome. Now, and once that happens, you can go on the premium streams, which is awesome. And it also just really helps out the channel. And I get everything from the donation too. So, which is really great, which I really like because I love money. Anyway, best person ever. One more time. Gold, precious gold. If there's a way, I hope there's a way that I can, either Rumble or YouTube, that I can get gold for doing the streams. Precious, precious gold. Let's see. What are you guys saying? I gotta go back a little bit. There's too much chat. Too much chat. Denny says, I already hit the like button to the best channel. It's the best channel. Everybody knows it's the best channel. The other channels are loser channels. Radio Baloney is the best. Everybody says so. Let's see. Trudeau Survivor says, I saw another angle of Irina Zarutska. After she was stabbed, she slumped over in her seat in the fetal position, then fell onto the floor. Nobody did anything to help her. I couldn't watch it. It's just too horrible. Izzy says, nationalism is what they want to destroy. Yep. Let's see. They want you just loyal to the government, to what the government says. Spambot Fodder says, I'm sure the German government would overreact if you started singing Deutschland über alles. They might have a point. I think that the German people have to just realize that, like, they're not guilty of their grandfather's sins, right? It's a very long history, a very long and important and amazing history. And, they don't need to be held hostage to that, what was really a very short period of time, 12 years. They need to move on from it. And, like, just defending themselves is not, racism. Geez. Turtle says another stabbing on a bus in Seattle today and not telling us anything. That's not surprising. Let's see. Let's gotta skip down here. We got way too much chat. Let's see. Turtle says Irish presidential candidate is being barred. I think I got something on that coming up. Conor McGregor. Let's see. They're very afraid of him. Let's see if RB notices. Notices what? Rosie says, I read where no one helped her at all after she was stabbed. That's something that you guys put up earlier, I guess. So I'm not going to go back and look at it, though. We got too much. We got too much to do. There's too much crime. Oh, chocolate. Well, we haven't done a they them energy, although hold on. Let's see. Turtle says they them trans energy with engines in the bedroom. Rosie says chocolate. You don't get chocolate unless we do the they them energy. But you know what? I am getting kind of tired. I do need some energy. What can I do? Well, I've had a bunch of coffee. I had a couple of espressos too. Not enough. Then I smoked some crack. That wasn't enough. Then I had some of that meth, some of that blue meth. It's the good kind from Breaking Bad. Still nothing. Then I ate like 8 polar bear adrenaline glands. Nothing. I don't know what I can do. I don't know what there is for me at this point to find the energy to continue with this stream.
They them energy. They them energy. They them energy. They them energy.
And teapot. We missed the teapot at the end. We got to do it one more time. Hold on.
They them energy. They them energy. They them energy. They them energy.
And teapot. I don't think that they're sending their best, honestly. I don't think that's the best representative of that they them energy. I think they could have done better, quite frankly. But I still love it. And now I'm jacked. I'm jacked on that they them energy. I can finish the show. But now that we've shown the they them energy, Rosie is going to demand chocolat. Hold on. Because it's just I don't want to have to explain it, but it's just a thing we have to do on the channel. It's one of the traditions now. Hold on. We have to do this. I don't want to explain it. There was very difficult negotiations on the they them energy and when we'd be able to play that. And then there was an agreement reached that, well, we could do it on Tuesdays and Thursdays if we do a stream, which we don't usually. It's kind of a jip. But if we did, we had to show some chocolate for Rosie afterwards. So we're about to do that. Don't go anywhere, people. Stay on the stream. You don't want to miss that. Look at that chocolate cake. That chocolate. Oh, look at that chocolate. Look at this chocolate cake. Oh, that's very moist, isn't it? Very delicious. Look at all that chocolate on the top. There, I fulfilled my duties, my obligations. All right. And back to the boat show. And then a bit of chat, and then we get back into the news. Spambot says, I'm sure Rosie is going to mail you a DVD or Blu-ray of chocolate. You see, there's an ongoing thing now. We really got into it last night on the premium stream with Rosie. She really wants me to watch the movie chocolat. And I don't want to watch it. Because I don't want to watch a movie about chocolat. I don't want to. And I don't want to have to say that word like that, right? I don't like it. I think it's pretentious, frankly. Nevada says, now we need some serious commie hate. Well, maybe we can do another ad read. That'd be fun. I think that we can. But do we want commie hate or do we want a Westwood One ad? Let's see. Do they have one for me? Those are some of my favorites. You know what? I don't think they... Nope, don't have one. Damn it. I was getting really good at those Westwood One ads. Nope, there's nothing. Nothing. Oh, well, I guess we'll do a Rumble one. Let's do that. Every quarter counts. All right, people, if you haven't already, make sure you download the Rumble app. It's free, simple to use, and the best way to stay connected to the content you want. Once you've got it, search for my channel and hit follow. Absolutely, you're going to do that. That way, you'll get a notification every time we go live. No missed shows, no extra steps, no communism. You can grab it right now using the link in the description or the pinned live chat. Download it to your phone, and you're ready to go. If you prefer watching on the big screen, Rumble is available on all major streaming devices and smart TVs. Just search for Rumble, follow the channel, and be part of the action. You know what to do. All right. There we go. That was exciting. We love those Rumble ads, don't we? All right. Now what are we doing? Let's see. What are you guys talking about? All right. Westwood One Shifrigo says they didn't offer. I couldn't do one. JJ Nevada says, commie hate all day long. All day long.
And that's nothing but pure and simple old-fashioned communism.
Let's see. All right. Rosie says he said chocolat 1,483 times in the premium stream last night within about 10 minutes. Trudeau Survivor says the judge didn't pass the bar. Was the judge elected? I don't know what's going on there. Rosie says Rumble ad, excellent. Cubby hate, 10 out of 10. That's not the most you can get out of 10, though, but I'll still take it. All right, let's move on. Guys, give me 1 second. Hold on. All right. Thank you for your patience, everybody. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel right now. If you haven't liked the stream, like the stream right now. Get your free good karma. If you're not a channel member, become a channel member right now. It's the best thing you can do for the channel. Give me money right now. It's the best thing you can do for the money. Anything else? Oh, yeah. Go to the new YouTube channel, Radio Baloney News. It's only like 5 days old. It's really small. I'm relying on you guys to go over there, subscribe to it. And because the algorithm is going to show me no love, and it is showing me no love. So that's important. Let me just check and see if there's any more progress on subscriptions, people subscribing to it. We got a few tonight. We got a few. I mean, it's, every little bit counts. All right. Where we go next? What are we? An hour and 40 minutes in. Jesus. Okay. Let's take a look at this. So, and is the sound on? It is on. Okay, great. And let me check the thing. Nope. Okay. So Trump now is talking about this story, which is finally the media. So the mainstream media has finally started talking about this story, this horrific story about the Ukrainian refugee who was just murdered, just slaughtered on a train by a guy who'd been arrested and let go like 15 times, right? And the media tried to ignore it at first, of course, obviously, because it doesn't fit the narrative that they are peddling every single day, every hour of every day, every minute of every day, every second of every day. It doesn't fit that narrative. So, of course, they ignore it. That's what they do with the inconvenient facts, with the reality that they don't like. They ignore it, right? But they can't ignore it forever. Not with social media now. So eventually they have to talk about it. They'll minimize it as much as possible. They'll try and twist it and say that anybody talking about it is a racist or whatever. You know the tactics, right? Far right. Once they can no longer ignore it, that's what they do. They try and twist it and manipulate. So Trump is very good at just getting to the heart of the matter on these things. I believe it's why he's president right now. Let's take a listen.
For far too long, Americans have been forced to put up with Democrat-run cities that set loose savage, bloodthirsty criminals to prey on innocent people, really very, very innocent people. In every place, they control radical left judges, politicians, and activists, and they've adopted a policy of catch and release for thugs and killers. In Charlotte, North Carolina, we saw the results of these policies when a 23-year-old woman who came here from Ukraine met her bloody end on a public train. And here's a picture of it. This is the picture of it. And this is a picture of the woman, a beautiful young girl that never had problems in life.
Well, that's not entirely true. I mean, she was fleeing war, but his overall point still stands.
With a magnificent future in this country. And now she's dead. She was slaughtered by a deranged monster who was roaming free after 14 prior arrests. We cannot allow a depraved criminal element of violent repeat offenders to continue spreading destruction and death throughout our country. We have to respond with force and strength. We have to be vicious just like they are. It's the only thing they understand. 24 of the top 25 most dangerous cities in America are run by Democrat mayors. 50 people were murdered in Chicago in recent weeks, with hundreds being shot. And it's time to stop this madness. The people of our country need to insist on protection, safety, law, and order. We have proven that it can be done because we did it right here in D.C., in District of Columbia. The capital of America was a bloodthirsty, horrible, dangerous place, one of the worst. And now it's a crime-free city, and we're going to keep it that way. It can be done. It can happen fast. All we want is, please, Mr. President, we need help. Chicago needs help. Other cities need help. We'll do what has to be done because we're going to make America safe again. And that includes our big cities. We're going to make those cities safe. Thank you.
This is what's required. This is what's required across the Western world. Like it or hate it, this is what's required. Leftists will be horrified by this, of course, right? Because it's strong and it could actually, because it's strong and it's actually pragmatic and can solve the problems they've caused, right? Trump didn't cause the problems. Leftism caused the problems. Radical progressivism caused the problems. Equity caused the problems. Turning, recognizing reality into a sin caused the problems. Accurately, pretending that accurately describing reality is a hate crime caused the problems. Trump didn't create all of that. They did. And here's the response. And it's the necessary response. This is what's required at this point. This is what happens when you let the lunatics run the asylum for long enough. You need a short, sharp shock. And nothing else will do. And we're starting to see it. We're starting to see it in certain places across the Western world. We're starting to see it. All right. And what does Charlie Kirk here have to say? President Trump has just released a video on the killing of Irina Zarutska. We have to be vicious just like they are. It's the only thing they understand. We cannot allow violent repeat offenders to continue spreading destruction and death. What does it say underneath? Well, this one here, greatest president ever. This is what is required. Wow, 24 of the top 25 most dangerous cities are run by Democrat mayors. Of course, that's equity, right? It's actually the point of equity. All right. Did I have anything else under here? What was this? All right, so here is President Trump. Just put a reporter in her place. So let's take a look. So they're pretending that Trump is trying to gain authoritarian control over America's cities, like D.C., cleaned up D.C. And apparently the media won't show them, but it seems like a large portion of the residents there like it. They like not living in fear. They like the garbage being cleaned up and the homelessness, all the homeless camps removed. Right? They like not being in fear. They like living in a higher trust society where they can feel safe walking down the street, which seems very reasonable to me. Now, Chicago, he's threatening to do the same thing with Chicago to end the endless killing and slaughter and crime in Chicago. And of course, race communists are not a big fan of that. That doesn't help destroy Western civilization. That doesn't help burn down America to its foundations and then break the foundations and then build a communist dystopia on top of it. This doesn't help with that.
That's fake news. When you say that, darling, that's fake news.
Well, why would you the Department of Defense?
Listen, be quiet. Listen. You don't listen. You never listen. That's why you're second rate. We're not going to war. We're going to clean up our cities. We're going to clean them up so they don't kill 5 people every weekend. That's not war. That's common sense.
Yeah, common sense, pragmatic. I think there's more and more of a hunger for that as things continue to disintegrate in the Western world and Western cities, due to radical leftist policies, right? Let's not kid ourselves. These modern politicians, in Canada, they can call themselves liberals with the Liberal Party. They ain't liberals. They're illiberal. They are radical far leftists. The policies in Canada from the Liberal Party, the so-called Liberal Party, are radically left. It's no longer a kind of centrist left party anymore. And in fact, Justin Trudeau told us. He told us that they're a progressive party. He left out the radical leftist extremism, but we knew what he was saying. Let's see. All right, what's going on now? Let's skip down to the bottom. JJ Nevada. JJ Nevada was gifted a membership by Trudeau Survivor. Trudeau Survivor, guess what? I think you know what's coming. Trudeau Survivor, you are officially best person ever, the best person who has ever lived. Ever lived. I don't care. People can say, oh, such and such was so great. This person from history was so great. All dog shit compared to Trudeau Survivor. all garbage human beings compared to Trudeau Survivor. Just number one, and there's just no comparison, quite frankly. There's nobody even close. Guess what, Trudeau Survivor? And all for less than the cost of a new Tesla Cybertruck. I mean, come on, people. That's a great deal. A great deal. Thank you. It is the best thing. Gifting memberships is the best thing anybody can do for my channel. It's really good. I actually keep like all of the money from it, and it helps build the channel, and that gives people access to the premium content. Thanks so much. It's an awesome thing. Nature's greatest miracle, as always. All right. Let's see. What are you guys saying? Turtle says, and let me go back here in a second while we're doing this. Back to the boating channel. Just got a story from Tommy Robinson. 5-year-old kidnapped by Muslim and mom break into the apartment to rescue her. Jesus. I mean, there's just genuine horror stories. When you get into it, genuine horror stories. And it's not like in the single digits. It's in like literally hundreds of thousands over decades. All right. Let's see. Radio streamer saying that his receding hairline stopped receding and his dog is not barking. It must be that karma. It's the karma. I tell you guys, we get testimonials in the chat all the time. People talking about all the good things that happened to them because of liking the stream and getting that good karma. Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. And you know, I mean, I think about it's so good. I often consider maybe I should start a cult. I'm not going to yet, though. I need to save up for that plot of land in the Congo. Turtles, $2. Guess what? We're doing it again. $2 rant from Turtles. Are we going to put that up? You bet we're going to put that up. Hold on. Let's see. Is it pinned? Hold on. God damn it. I mess this up all the time. There we go. Fuck Sharia law. Uh-oh. I'll keep my beer. We don't want the Sharia law, do we? We don't like it. We don't want that. Anyway, thank you, Turtles. Awesome. Rosie says, true likes matter. Great testimonial. They do likes matter on this. Baloney likes matter. They matter on these. Let's see, Radio Streamer, you need tracksuits, lots of tracksuits. What's going on there? All right, let's keep moving. Let's get on. We got lots of stories. We're already almost 2 hours in. This is nuts. All right, so we did Trump. Was there anything else Trump here? He posted this, the madman. He's a madman. Posted, I love the smell of I love the smell of deportations in the morning. Chicago about to find out why it's called Department of War. Chipocalypse now. Trump's a madman. He is, in the best way possible. I mean, it's funny. All right. Let's see. What do we got going on here? How about just some normal politics? Some normal Canadian politics, huh? Let's see. Wait a second. This is crazy. Now, Chef Rico has been gifted a membership by Trudeau Survivor. Good Lord. Best person ever. Chef Rico has now joined that club of best person ever in all of history, gifting a membership to Trudeau Survivor. What a beautiful thing. What a beautiful thing to do. This is going to be remembered. We're not going to forget this on this channel. We're not going to forget it. Guess what? Best person ever. Everybody else who's ever lived, dog shit compared to you. One more time. Gifting and getting memberships is really the best thing for the channel. It is really awesome, and I really super appreciate it. Thank you very much. Streamer says, you don't remember the old 80s TV shows with cults? They were all wore matching tracksuits for running or cloak. I think you got something there. I'll cover the tracksuits, people. I'll have them shipped to our compound in the Congo. Let's see. All right. What's going on? Did I miss one? Oh, Rosie sent $2 too. Fantastic. It's coming in so fast and furious here. I can't. Here we go, Rosie. Rosie's the best person who's ever lived, clearly. Sent in $2. It's a beautiful thing. We love the Rumble rants. I love the money. I love my greed being appealed to. It's a fantastic thing. Best person ever. One more time. Holy macaroni. We got a rant from Chef Rico. Don't forget about Rosie says. Good Lord, another best person ever. I'm going to have to start cutting these short or else the stream's going to go on for 18 hours. Thank you very much, Chef Rico. Best person ever. Fantastic stuff. Everybody else dog shit. You know the story. All right, let's get to the next. Let's get to this. So here is Pierre Poilievre. So Pierre Poilievre is not a climate utopian. So he's not like Mark Carney, who has all of these crazy climate plans, all these crazy unicorn climate plans for Canada. Nobody seems to have informed Mark Carney that the rest of the world isn't interested in partaking in any of his weird fantasies. So it's kind of just us at this point. But here is Pierre Poilievre, the Conservative leader of the Conservative Party of Canada, Pierre Poilievre, and he's got just like pragmatic solutions, the kind of stuff that just always worked and like always will work, and maybe we should just do that because it's not crazy. And I don't really care what Greta Thunberg would say.
Thank you.
Next question.
Good morning, Mr. Poilievre. Nitin Chopra from Hashtag.
Good to see you.
Parliament is opening soon, and you wrote a letter to Prime Minister Carney that to-do list from all the crises, from immigration crisis to the housing crisis to the crime crisis and to the job loss crisis, all the crises are there. So my question is, we gave billions of dollars, 22 billion plus $25 billion to Ukraine. How justified is that when our own people are struggling high time, big time, because since last couple of years, you are also highlighting the crisis and crisis and crisis. So how to fix Canada first? We have not seen the Canada first approach by any of the political party. Canada first, we have seen that other countries are coming first. Taxpayers' money are going out of country. How justified is that? Thank you.
Well, the best way to put Canada first while helping Ukraine is to sell our oil and gas in Europe. The reason Putin can fund his war is because he has a near monopoly on Western European oil and gas purchases. If we had the Energy East pipeline, we could be selling 1 million barrels of Canadian oil to Europe every single day. If we immediately approved LNG plants, we could liquefy tens of billions of dollars of natural gas and send it to Europe to fully displace the Russian sales of gas into that continent and put it into Canadian paychecks. So Mark Carney and the Liberals have blocked every single LNG project that has been put before them. And as a result, we only have one plant. It's on the West Coast, approved by Stephen Harper. If you want to defund Putin and squeeze out all the money that he's using to fund the war, then let's immediately start approving pipelines, LNG plants, export terminals, and send tens of billions of dollars of clean, ethical Canadian natural gas and oil to Europe. Instead of the money going to Putin's war machine, it will go to the trades workers in this country. That is how you put Canada first.
See, it's just pragmatic stuff. Solves a bunch of problems. Like, utilize Canada's natural resources, get it to people who actually want it. Now, I would have preferred if he had said, we don't need to send any more money to Ukraine, because I don't think we should be on the fight to the last Ukrainian train. That doesn't make any sense to me. But there you go. Pragmatic solutions that solve a bunch of problems. And we had the opportunity for that. Unfortunately,
thank you.
We had the opportunity to have pragmatic solutions. Instead, Canada voted for a fourth term. Instead, Canada voted for a fourth term of pie-in-the-sky, unicorn, progressive gibberish. And it's not going well, as you guys know. As I'm sure you guys know. Hold on. What else we got here? All right. This is a good one, actually. And but first, did I notice something else? Hold on. Okay, I think we got all of the gifted memberships and everything, didn't we? I think we did all the best persons ever. I think we got it. All right. I believe, did I miss one? Did I miss anybody? Best person ever. Let me know in the chat. Did I miss anybody? I don't think I did. All right. Turtles asks, what is up with Wexit? It's not something that's going to happen quickly. Even if Alberta votes for it, or Alberta and Saskatchewan, maybe even BC, who knows, right? It would still take years to happen, to actually go through all the legal wrangling and like constitutional wrangling, all kinds of stuff, right? It would take a long time. I missed Chef. Did I miss Chef? Okay, hold on. Let me go back. Let's see. Radio Streamer was gifted a membership by Chef Rico. What a beautiful thing to do. Beautiful thing to do. This is somebody who cares about Western civilization. Can I say gentleman and scholar? I can, because obviously the best person ever would be a gentleman and a scholar. Congratulations, Chef Rico. Congratulations. You're in the club. Best person ever. I don't care what anybody says, anybody else in history. I don't care who anybody likes or admires or anything. All human garbage compared to Chef Rico. Best person ever. Thank you so much. It's the best thing anybody can do for my channel, by the way. Don't we all feel better now? Don't we all feel better and hopeful? Like, hey, the world ain't that bad, right? Rosie says, and you did not read my rant. Oh, God damn it. Okay, hold on. Let me go back. There's just so much happening. Don't forget about, I even read Don't Forget About Rosie and then forgot what she said. And that was, I think, fuck Sharia law, right? Fuck Sharia law. I'll keep my beer. What she said. In fact, I think Clint Eastwood agrees with you.
Not in this lifetime, Sonny.
Damn straight. All right. We got to get on with the news now. Although that was all very exciting. Let's see. So Pierre Poilievre is calling for axing the federal capital gains tax. So Pierre Poilievre is calling for axing federal capital gains tax, but not all of it. It's for anyone who reinvests in home building or any other reinvestment in Canada. This will cause an incredible boom. Well, it's in the right direction. Again, it's pragmatic. It makes sense. I think you'd see a bigger boom if you just got rid of the capital gains tax entirely. That would make, I tell you, money would flood into the country at that point. But let's hear what Pierre Poilievre has to say.
Please state your name and outlet.
Michelle Song, CBC News. Mr. Poilievre, how is what you are saying today different from the legislation you proposed before the last election?
It has a lot in common. I put forward a bill in the House of Commons called the Build Homes and Not Bureaucracy Act, which would incentivize municipalities to speed up permits, free up land, and cut development charges. But in addition to that, Today, I'm proposing to axe the sales tax for all home buyers, not just first-time home buyers. Second, to increase the limit to 1.3 million, because unfortunately, in the GTA today, as amazing as it sounds, you can't get the average house for $1 million. I mean, if I had said that to you 10 years ago, you'd have laughed me out of the room. You would have said it would be so ridiculous to spend $1 million on a middle-class home. But after a decade of liberal housing inflation, that's the reality we face. And then we're also calling for axing the federal capital gains tax for anyone who reinvests in home building or any other reinvestment in Canada. This will cause an incredible boom. It will be like economic rocket fuel. You imagine the number of investors who will sell a dormant asset knowing they won't have to pay tax on it as long as they put it to work building houses in communities like this one. That would mean jobs. And by the way, this will help a lot of people. You might be surprised. It's not just big corporations and extremely wealthy investors. A lot of our tradespeople, they buy houses, fix them up, and then resell them as an improved product. They would be able to get out zero capital gains tax as long as they reinvest in another home to add even more supply. So that is the difference between my original proposal and this new enhanced proposal, because the crisis is much bigger now under Mark Carney than it was under Justin Trudeau. And we as Conservatives are here to provide solutions to fix that. Thank you.
Yeah, it's all just pragmatic. I mean, you know, it's not as attention grabbing as you have to pay more for ice cream or else the world is going to burn, right? It's just pragmatic stuff that like serious politicians and policymakers will do. It's not we're going to somehow lead some global eco trade rebellion against the United States. It's not that, right? It's not like ridiculous fantasy stuff, right? It's just frankly boring but pragmatic stuff that's proven that will work. It's just that's what we need at this point, by a guy who, yeah, he's been in the government a long time and he knows how it works. And he was mentored by Stephen Harper, who was our last good prime minister. All right, do I have anything else from Pierre here? Oh, this is good. So this is from Marty up north. Pierre Poilievre just delivered the perfect description of Mark Carney. Basically George Costanza in a suit. So this is almost a comedy routine, but it's perfect. Let's take a look. Oh, am I gonna have to? Here we go. All right, here we go. Come on. Really? It's going to do this? Oh, come on. Come on. Ah, hate it. Hate it when that happens. Maybe I'll have to save it for Friday. All right. No, of course not. Of course not. Well, that's all right. All right, so there we go. That's that. Let's move on. Mark Carney admits he is not trying to make Canada economically competitive around the world, but rather climate competitive. This is from Bruce McGonigal. So if we can stomach this, if we can stomach his word salad, let's give it a listen.
How is the federal government planning to change its climate change policies and targets for 2030 and 2035?
Well, the focus, as we stressed on Friday,
it's also ridiculous. I mean, it's just all collusion. The climate thing is all just collusion between the press and the politicians. Look, we got a $1.5 trillion debt right now. We're spending $1 billion a week just servicing the interest on the debt. That's more than the provinces are given for healthcare in this country. Not sustainable. Why are we talking about any of this gibberish, this climate competitiveness? What, competing with China, India, United States doesn't have any carbon credits or doesn't have any, carbon taxes? The EU And the EU and the UK are now walking back all of their climate stuff for like heavy industry, and I'm sure there's more to come on that as well. Why are we talking about this? Why is the press take it seriously? Why are they? Well, we know why, because they're paid. They're either just directly paid. The press is paid by the Liberal government. They become the propaganda arm of the Liberal government. CBC 1.4 billion, and everybody else is getting subsidies. That's why. But it's just this kind of ridiculous charade that just goes on in public on television every day.
And we will be going in more detail in the coming weeks. Our focus in this very rapidly changing global economy is on what we call climate competitiveness. So we see becoming low carbon in any industry as being a key driver of competitiveness. So let's take conventional oil and gas, offshore, and for example, offshore oil and gas, Bay du Nord as an example. That's one of the lowest carbon new oil fields, depending on how you develop it, but that's the intention, one of the lowest carbon conventional oil and gas opportunities, conventional energy, but oil and gas opportunities that this country has. So we look at that as a way of being competitive in conventional energy. At the same time, we look at the immense opportunity in hydro, again with Churchill. That doesn't just unlock.
This is all dependent on this fantasy world in which the rest of the world will care whether or not other countries are going by Mark Carney's stringent climate regulations. A spoiler alert, they don't care. They want Canada's natural resources, sure. They don't care about any of this, the carbon capture. Again, climate competitiveness, competing with who? China? United States? They don't have any of that. They don't have any. They're not doing Mark Carney's climate regulations. All of this. They're not worried about what he stipulates as what's necessary for, decarbonization. They don't care about net zero, obviously. This is all just pointless gibberish. But this is what Mark Carney has been working on for 15 years, right? The UN climate envoy, GFANZ, Global Financial Alliance for Net Zero, of which 5 Canadian banks dropped out of, by the way, before he became prime minister. I think he became prime minister because he saw his big global unicorn plan falling apart, and he wanted to try and rescue it. He wanted to use Canada as his net zero laboratory. That's the only reason. That's why he parachuted in from Europe. Keep in mind, the man hadn't been living in Canada for years. He's barely spent any of his adult life in Canada. He parachuted in from the EU and promised an enormous amount of money to the CBC, and next thing you know, he's prime minister.
$225 billion, and you know your numbers, Premier, $225 billion for Newfoundland and Labrador. It creates enormous clean power that's going to be one of the key factors for manufacturing going forward, for artificial intelligence, data centers going forward. It creates a host of new economic opportunities in Newfoundland and Labrador and Quebec across Canada. So that focus on what can we do in order to drive emissions down in a way that makes the country more competitive is crucial. Last point on it.
That's all just a fantasy. Europe is not going to care. The largest economies in Europe are contracting as we speak. Okay, they're in big trouble. The EU is in big trouble. It's a basket case. All of this stuff is irrelevant, and it's going to be irrelevant. This man is just wasting our time, and he's going to max out the national credit card to pay for all of these net zero experiments, using Canada as his laboratory, using Canadians' futures as his collateral. That's what's happening here. This was even worse than electing Trudeau, I think, because after all of the damage of the Trudeau years, that better part of a decade of just continuous destruction of the country, of the country's identity, of the country's economy, the massive gross, the doubling of the national debt that we've been saddled with. It's exactly the worst time to bring in a guy who's going to go turbo Trudeau, which is exactly what's happening. This is what we're witnessing. Hopefully it's not too late to fix it by the time we get a sane government in. Our focus is on what we call climate competitiveness. Mark Carney. This was posted by Dan Knight. Canada has lost 50,000 manufacturing jobs in 2025. Families are hurting, farmers are crushed by tariffs, and this is what the Prime Minister is selling. Climate competitiveness. Other countries must be laughing at us. China, India, they must be laughing at us. The United States, I'm sure, are laughing at us. What a joke. It's absolutely pathetic. We just handed over the keys to this guy. This self-described globalist technocrat central banker. You are nothing more than a number on a spreadsheet to this man, to this bureaucrat. Anyway, let's move on. So more Canadian dysfunction. From Amy Eileen Ham. Now, she is the nurse who has been persecuted for years now by the Nurses College in British Columbia for accurately describing reality as pertaining to gender theory, or for accurately describing reality, for knowing biology. Right, for knowing the thing that every single human has known for all of history until 15 minutes ago. There's men and women, and that's it. And they can't become each other. So she says, my kid's school district, no lie, we have a budget shortfall, so we are cutting teachers, computers, and services for special needs kids. But we are adding new Progress Pride flag logos on all buildings, and we are hiring a new district principal of Indigenous education and equity. And this is equity. This is what equity is, right? Dysfunction. It's just dysfunction. Michael Televi of North of Nowhere says, for fuck's sake. Priorities, JB Sarkanek says. Yeah, but this is what we call woke dysfunction, right? It's just about the ideology. It's about pushing, and it's about spreading the ideology to more vulnerable minds all the time. That's why you have to have the pride flags everywhere. It's to spread the mind virus. That's why you have to have the new district principal of Indigenous education and equity to tell everybody about different ways of knowing and other absurdities. It's about spreading the mind virus. Whatever institution is taken over by the idea pathogen, it ceases to function for its original purpose. Now it's about spreading the mind virus to new, vulnerable minds. That's what's happening in Canada. All right, let's move on. Mayor from Ryan Garrettson here. The mayor of Barrie has declared a state of emergency due to crime, lawlessness, and out of control homeless encampments. You mean like literally every other place in Canada? He blames the judges and the rest of the judicial system for not doing their job to keep criminals off the street. But don't dare say Canada is broken. Absolutely not. Well, it's also the crime legislation of the Liberal government as well. So, I mean, that's really what gives the Liberal judges, the activist judges and activist police chiefs permission to do what they're doing, to endanger the public.
Judges are superseding everyday bylaws. The cities have enacted to create and maintain order. The Barrie Police Department operates as an arm's-length police service overseeing law enforcement, or the lack thereof, being told by the justice system that it's a waste of time to enforce drug possession or drug use laws. This because often those same judges just mentioned throw the cases out and warn the prosecutors to steer away from such charges. While I support the county's plan to deliver new space and the Heart Hub, we have all simply run out of time. The City of Barrie does not have control over this emergency until now. Today, I'm announcing that I've declared a state of emergency in the City of Barrie. as I requested the former administration to do. While we wait for the county's long-term plan to be implemented, the city of Barrie is immediately instituting a state of emergency to reclaim our streets, our boulevards, our parks, our squares, our feeling of safety, and our order. While this order will not appoint federal judges that protect the rights of citizenry to live in a free and lawful society, it will address the problem from the ground up. Barrie City Council has already done so much. In 2023, we provide an additional $1.65 million, increasing our funding to local social service agencies. Also in 2023, we ended the prisoner drop-off program in downtown Barrie that left individuals in our downtown from around the province of Ontario when they left incarceration at Penetang. In 2025, with the help of our police resources, and I see our Deputy Chief here today, Deputy, we funded an additional 17 officers to enforce the law right here in our downtown center.
See, this is equity, right? It's actually the purpose of progressivism. Like the crime, it's the purpose of it. Because you have to understand, it's equity. It's really society's fault, right? It's not the criminal's fault, right? It's the system that made them do the mean things. They don't even really want to do them. It's the system, something called the system, forcing them to do it. So it's really the victim's fault. That's equity for you. And that's where it's the dysfunction that is always, it's the dysfunction that always follows progressive governments, radical leftist governments. And I mean, just name me a place that's not radical progressive, radical leftist, that's doesn't have all of this dysfunction, whether it's crime, healthcare, whatever. There are no places. It's the same. It's like communism, right? It's like there's no success stories with communism. They can never point to that success story, to the utopia, right? The most successful communist state in the world right now is North Korea. I mean, that's perfect communism right there. That's the end goal of it. So, yeah, I mean, I guess the thing to do is to not be retarded leftists. That solves all the problems, apparently, or a lot of them, or at least the ones they cause. All right, we already saw that. Let's move on. What's going on here? So, the National Post put out an article. Canada is being stifled by red tape. Let's take a look. Let's see. I highlighted a couple things here. Canada is being stifled by red tape. And who wrote this? This was by so business ranks being stifled by red tape as more of a threat. Businesses rank being stifled by red tape as more of a threat than Trump tariffs, new report finds. So Simon Tuck. So Canada is being stifled by red tape so much that businesses now rank excessive regulation as more of a threat to investment than the Trump tariffs, a new report from a leading Canadian business group has found. Well, we could have told you that. We could have told you that a long time ago. You don't need the National Post to tell us. Although I'm glad they're publishing this. The Business Council of Canada, a nonpartisan organization that represents businesses across the economy, found that Canada's regulatory burden is growing rapidly, with the number of government requirements now topping 321,000, an increase of 37% since 2006. So when we talk about woke dysfunction, this is what we're talking about. They just, well, somebody said something about this.
Everything woke turns to shit.
Yeah. So progressivism, wokeism, causes dysfunction with everything that it touches all the time, and it does nothing else. There's no place where it makes things better, ever. The BCC says the morass shaves 1.7% off the economy. So this is the morass of the red tape, of the progressive red tape. 9% from business investment and 1.3% from total employment. This is not insignificant. Let's see, what do we got here? A wide range of examples of dubious red tape. including multiple and overlapping environment, social, and governance frameworks, ESG frameworks. Well, I thought I'd take a look at some of those that companies are being burdened with. Let's see. Canada's ESG reporting requirements in 2025. Key laws, rules, and regulations. So let's just take a look. Canadian Sustainability Disclosure Standards, Corporate Diversity Reporting. Ooh. They keep telling us how great diversity is. Apparently, it means no white people. So I don't know. I think I'm against it. Supply chain reporting, supplier ESG disclosure for large federal contractors, climate investment taxonomy, whatever the hell that means. It just goes on and on and on. You can see, I mean, this is like somebody painted, it's like one of the old masters painted a picture of dysfunction, woke dysfunction. Here it is, right? Just goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on, and you're getting the picture now. So this is all stuff, like when I say that Canada has generational problems now because of the Liberal Party, the Liberal Party that was remade out, the Liberal Party that was taken from being kind of a moderate centrist leading left party to a radical leftist party that was remade in the image of Justin Trudeau to be radically left-wing. When I say that that they've caused generational damage, this is what I'm talking about. Like, it's in everything. They infect everything, every institution, just anything any person can do has been made dysfunctional by them. So, yeah, it's not the problems that we have now after a decade, and it'll be more than a decade by the time we get new government. It's not going to be fixed in one term. It's going to take a decade to fix. And there are things that can't be fixed. Canada's changed in ways that cannot be changed. But if we want to try and get the country back to just at least looking like it's going to stay in the first world, to get us like out from that, the bottom of the list of developed nations on every metric. Right now, Canada's at the bottom of every list of developed nations, right, by every metric. So to get us out from that, maybe even just to the middle of the pack, it's going to take 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, God knows how long. But we've got to stop the pain as soon as possible. But will Canadians be smart enough and informed enough? Or will they continue to be, will enough Canadians to be as ignorant and gullible as they have been? Because then we're in big trouble. It will end with Canada losing first world status. If enough Canadians don't wake up for the next election, it's time to start thinking about relocating. And let me remind you as well that there's talk of the UK needing another IMF bailout. Don't forget they had one in 1976, so it absolutely can happen. And also France as well. So, yeah, things can get that bad. What's happening here? Basil the Great. Fight breaks out between migrant and worker. A Muslim migrant in Sweden stopped a bus and started praying in front of it. As soon as he was moved out of the way, he started throwing fists and saying, now I understand that Sweden has actually started the process, slow process, and not very much, but the process of remigration because of this kind of stuff. So he wanted to stop a bus. He wanted to pray in front of a bus in a display of dominance, assuming that the Swedish people are so weak they'll just let him do it, and then freaked out when they wouldn't. Why does anybody need that? Like, why does any Western country need that? Exactly. Who thought that was a great idea? It's mostly, I have to say, mostly white liberal women. But they're not actually liberal. They're actually far leftists. Let's see. British Patriot breaking. Jihadis threaten to burn churches in Paris unless authorities release Brahmin Osi, I don't know. I can't pronounce that. Brahim terrorist A man who is responsible for a terror attack leaving 3 French citizens dead. Why did France want this?
نطالب الحكومة الفرنسية بإطلاق سراح أخير.
We demand the government of France to release our brother, Brahmin, Allahu Akbar or something.
إبراهيم العيساوي. إذا لم يتم إطلاق سراحه فإن غضب الله سيحل على شعبكم.
If he is not set free, the God's wrath will be upon you people here in France. I feel like he's not just like a typical Frenchman, this guy.
هنا في فرنسا ستحرق كنائسكم القذرة بإذن الله.
Your churches will burn by God's will. Well, they already are burning, right? I think most people kind of suspect that the Notre Dame fire was set, that was arson by one of these people, one of his buddies probably. And there are churches burning, churches burning across the Western world, actually, everywhere these guys are. So they're already doing it anyway. It might be time to recognize you have a problem and do something about it, France, because I don't think they're kidding around. And they're going to do it anyway. They're going to do it anyway. They are there to conquer you. It's clear. They tell you that. I mean, come on. Fucking wake up. Wake up, Western world. Just horror. I mean, here's another one. Magdeburg, Germany. Syrian asylum seeker hunted down a woman in broad daylight. Witnesses watched in horror as he chased her through a pedestrian street with a knife, closing the distance while she ran for her life. She escaped into a building. He followed her in and then murdered her. Just wake up, Western world. Come on. Come on. Global warming linked to consumption of sugary drinks, ice cream, and new research. Thank you, CTV. Thank you, CTV News, for this bullshit, for this climate alarmist bullshit. Thank you. What a waste. Whoever did this should just be fired. The whole thing is just a waste. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of human potential. Just every part of this is a waste, right? This is just more woke dysfunction. Global warming linked to consumption of sugary drinks, ice cream, and new research. So what? Fuck you. We don't care. Shut up. Shut up, CTV News. Do something useful. Why don't you do what you didn't do during the election and go talk to some people in the UK about Mark Carney's term as a governor of the Bank of England? Apparently it didn't go so well. Unfortunately, the people of Canada didn't know that because you didn't tell them. The only people who knew that were people who actually decided, hey, let's find out, what do they actually think over there of Mark Carney after he had such an influence on them and their economy. I did that, and turns out they don't like him much. Turns out his net zero gibberish ended up getting, pensioners in England now have to choose between food and feeding their homes in the wintertime because of Mark Carney's net zero that he pushed on the country. Let's see, it turns out he printed way too much money. Way too much money. Inflation. Seems like, by the way, and now there's talk of an IMF bailout for the UK. So, yeah, that's the kind of shape that Mark Carney left them in. Maybe do something. I know it's too late now, but maybe before the next election, go talk to some of those people. Don't just tell us about his wonderful credentials, right? That's going to oppress all of those people with their liberal arts degrees that vote liberal, right? Maybe do some real journalism. Maybe save the global warming linked to consumption of sugary drinks and ice cream. Maybe we don't need that. Maybe you're just embarrassing yourself at this point. It's like you don't even want your industry to survive. What is going on? So little time, so many rants. All right, let's move on. We're on the last tab of the evening. I think it's time I went back to the chat. What do you guys think? Should we even maybe consider doing another ad read? Could we do that? I think that we should. What kind of awesome ad reads can I do here? Let's see. How about a Caddis Sports Cooler ad? Now, there is nothing on here demanding that I stick strictly to the script. So that means I might be able to throw some anti-communist stuff in here. Let's see what happens. All right, outdoor crew. If you're into fishing, anti-communist activities, camping, or getting off the grid, meet your new best friend. The Hunter Orange 25-quart cooler from Caddis Sports. That's Caddis Sports, and it's the best. Everybody knows that. This isn't your average cooler, people. You thought you were getting your average cooler? This ain't it. It's roto-molded for max durability. And by the way, everybody knows that roto-molded is the best kind of molded. Bear-proof, so you don't have to worry about those bears getting your stuff. I hate it when that happens. And 20% lighter than the other brands. That's gonna go easy on your back, huh? So it's easy to haul whether you're deep in the backcountry or just sitting up at the dock or at your anti-communist meeting. You'll get up to 3 days of ice retention thanks to thick, high-performance insulation. That's the best kind of insulation. I have it on good authority. Thick, high-performance insulation, that's what you want. That means cold drinks, fresh food, and fewer ice runs. I hate those ice runs, whether you're chasing muttons offshore or posted up at a campsite. It's all good, though, right? Best part? It's 40 to 50% cheaper than the big-name coolers, but still built to perform season after season. That's what you want. You want that confidence in your products. And like all Caddis Sports name brand gear, it's proudly made in the good old USA. Use code RUMBLE at checkout for 10% off your order today. That's 10% off. Use the code RUMBLE. Don't forget it. That's caddissports.com. I'm going to spell it out for you so you don't forget. CADDIS sports.com. CADDIS sports.com. That's caddissports.com. Go grab the Hunter Orange 25-quart cooler and keep your next adventure ice cold and communism free. Did somebody say anti-commie hate? Did somebody say that? What are you guys talking about? Now you're talking about how much a quart is. I didn't expect that, but that's what happens in my chat. That's what happens in the beautiful train wreck that is my chat. Now, this is a great opportunity for me to say, well, it's a great opportunity for you. Subscribe to the channel, become a channel member, like, subscribe, all that stuff, send money, do all those things. What an opportunity for you. And also, when you like, you get the free good karma. Also, when you subscribe, for anybody watching right now on YouTube, this is very important. Rumble doesn't matter. YouTube, I started up a new channel on YouTube. It's only like 5 days old. We don't have many subscribers on there yet, but that's why I need you. The algorithm is not going to help me out. The algorithm doesn't want you to see. The gatekeepers don't want you to know. But this is the second channel. The one you're watching right now is the original channel. It's a Radio Baloney channel. This is a different one, Radio Baloney News. So if you want world news, U.S. news, you want the meme reviews, all that stuff, all the woke mind virus stuff, that's all going to be on this channel now. So you got to subscribe to this. The main channel is going to be live streams, which covers everything. I mean, Canada, the world, all kinds of stuff, memes, everything. But only the Canadian clips are going to be on there. Everything else is going to Radio Baloney News. You got to go subscribe. The algorithm doesn't want you to see it. The gatekeepers don't want you to know it's there. That's why you got to subscribe right now. They're not going to show it to you. You can lose it forever. You don't want to lose it forever. You want those videos to be there for you. You want to make the choice yourself. You don't want the choice taken away from you by a bunch of purple-haired frickin' gremlins at YouTube. Do you want that? I don't think that you do. So anyway, you know what to do. And let's see if these calls to action are actually working and people are actually subscribing. Nope. You guys got to subscribe more. We need more. We got a few on this stream, a few more, but I need your help, people. I desperately need your help. You got to help me out on this. The gatekeepers are laughing. Those purple-haired gremlins, they're laughing right now. All right. So, Miguel Duarte, an activist who was on board Greta Thunberg's selfie yacht, claims he saw the drone and the drone drop a bomb. So they keep trying to, or they're pretending they're trying to break into Gaza to, I don't know, to stop the Israelis somehow, stop the IDF somehow. And they're just kind of like puttering around in the Mediterranean, apparently. And I think they've almost sank their own boat like 7 times. They're not very competent. And, they're all commies too, obviously. Greta Thunberg has revealed that it's really about communism with her. So now they're claiming that a drone, I guess like a Mossad drone or something, tried to sink them and dropped a bomb on them. What's he saying here? Because there's a spoiler alert to this.
I was standing in the back part of the ship, the aft deck, and I heard a drone. Well, it was clearly a drone. Then I got out of the cover, saw a drone clearly about 4 meters above my head. Called someone. We were looking at the drone just above our heads, really. It stopped close to us and then moved slowly to the forward part of the ship and dropped what was obviously a bomb on the forward part of the deck. There was.
So that must have been terrifying for him, except it's all a complete lie. This is what actually happened. He tried to light a flare, and because he's an incompetent communist, it didn't work. So let's take a look. Yeah, you can see down here on the bottom, there's no drone there. Yeah, let's watch that again. You can see that there. There's no drone. I mean, if there was a drone, my apologies, but you can see here, no, it just looks like they're trying to light a flare and they drop it on themselves, right? You can see there's no drone here. You can't see a drone there. You just see him. It looks like he's lighting a flare and he screwed it up. So there you go. There's your heroes. We already did that. And I don't know. I think I'm done. We only have a couple other things. I don't feel like doing it. I'm tired now. 2 hours and 42 minutes. I expended a ton of energy on this stream, people. I hope you appreciate that. I went nuts on this stream. I know you guys saw it. I know you guys noticed it. I went bananas. That was one of my strongest performances in a long time, actually. I expended a lot of energy. In fact, just to get through even just the closing down of the stream now, I'm going to need something extra.
They, them, energy. They, them, energy. They, them, energy. They, them, energy.
And teapot. It's a teapot right at the end there that really makes it for me. Oh, that's it. That gets me through the night. That they, them energy. They, them energy. I still think they could use a better representative for the they, them energy, though. I feel. But yes, I think I put on a powerhouse performance tonight. But you probably sense at the end I'm starting to flag a little bit. My energy's starting to flag. So, and there's only a couple of things left, and they weren't super interesting. So I think we'll save them for Friday. And I guess that's it. Let's finish up with the chat now, and we'll get out of here. There's a lot of chat tonight. A lot of chat. You guys are in good form. There was some funny chat, too. You guys made me laugh out loud a couple of times. Thankfully, I didn't get a stitch from laughing too hard. That's happened before. Let's see. Radio Streamer says, wait, Bearproof talking about that Caddis sports ad. Don't commies have bears for their logo? I don't think so. I like this Bearproof thing this product has going on. Sounds like it's commie proof too. I should have said that. Why didn't I say that? 10 out of 10 commie proof cooler for my mates. 10 out of 10. Fantastic. That's almost the most out of 10 you can get. Rosie says, Richie, not a train wreck. You bring up a subject. We run. I believe the actual first comment on your ad read was WTF is a court. Okay. I said a beautiful train wreck, by the way. The chat is a beautiful train wreck. Let's see. Judo Survivor asks a really salient question here. How many quarts of karma does one get for subscribing? I've never done the math, but we'll say 1 million. I think I haven't done the math. I'm not a mathematician or a biologist, but I'll say 1 million. No, 200 million. Something like that. I don't know. We don't usually deal in quarts of karma, though. Let's see. Chef Rico subscribed 3 days ago. Thank you very much, Chef Rico. Let's see. Yeah, I definitely need everybody to get everybody on YouTube. It doesn't matter for Rumble. Everything's going on the same on the Rumble channel, the one Rumble channel. It's just YouTube. And yeah, there was, it had a promising start. One of the videos, the first like 5 videos or something, got more views than any video on my regular channel for like 2 weeks or something like that. Right? I want to see if the algorithm is messing with my main channel. That's why I started this. And yeah, after a promising start, just dead, done. So I don't know. But I'm just going to keep putting stuff on it anyway, because I don't know, it started, might as well do it. Doesn't matter anyway. But anyway, subscribe to this channel. Help me out. Help a brother out, will ya? Let's see. What else we got? Oh, yeah, we got to do more chocolate. All right. Chocolat. We did the They Them Energy. Rosie demands we do chocolate after that. Here we go. Chocolat. That's how you say it in France. And like that movie, Chocolat, which Rosie keeps trying to tell me it's about people, when obviously it's about chocolat. And Johnny Depp's in it, but I guess he plays chocolat in it. I guess. I don't know. I'm not watching the movie. That's my point. I refuse. That looks gross. I don't know what the hell that is. How about that? That's fancy. So that's got chocolat around it. It's like some sort of chocolat cake, but with like fruit on it. And there's that like a chocolat tree there. I don't know. Anyway, it's pretty good. And there's like some sort of a cup of chocolat, something. Brownie? I don't know. Anyway, I have fulfilled my obligations. Let's see. Now what's going on? Steve Tollison says, thanks for all of your struggles through the stream. You rock. No, you rock. And we all rock. Radio Streamer says, dancing mid-event. Thank you, Steve. Thanks, everybody. How far am I in the chat? It always goes back to the beginning, the chat. All right. Then I have to go back again. Let's see. Spambot's fitness ring arrived yesterday. Good news. Let's see. After his first overnight change window plus all-day meetings. It really never ends for Spambot. It's not good. I think Spambot needs some of that karma. Let's see. All right. What's this? Radio Streamer says, I don't need a fitness ring. It would just huff and stare at me like a disappointed father. I hate it when inanimate objects do that to me. I hate it. Let's see. Let's see. We're almost done. Radio Streamer said it looked like chocolate after it had been eaten. Yes, that one gross one on the foil. Yeah, gross. Rosie says, Richie, not really helpful. If your blind date says, so tell me, is Richie good looking? And she hears he has a beautiful radio personality. Beautiful trade wreck. It's true. It's true. Let's see. I have, what is it? I have a face for radio and also a liver for radio as well. Let's see. Spambot says that, yes, that's what it's doing to me. So the the fitness ring is staring accusingly. The fitness ring is staring accusingly at Spambot right now, wondering why he's not picking it up, and they're very disappointed in him. Let's see. All right. Face for radio and a voice for print. That's right, Spambot. Voice for print. But what's my liver for? Let's see. All right, well, that's it, guys. I'm freaking exhausted. I went hard tonight. It's not the longest stream, 2 hours, 50 minutes, but I think everybody here can appreciate I went hard for you guys tonight. I went crazy. I did. That's some of my best rant work, I think, in months. And all in one stream. That was good work on my part. Worked hard for you guys. All right. All right, that's it. I'm just tired now. We're going. Everybody subscribe to the new YouTube channel, Ready Baloney News. All the good stuff's going to be on there. And other than that, thanks everybody who did the we got quite a lot of gifted memberships tonight on Rumble. That's awesome. The Rumble rants, you guys, that was awesome. Thanks, you guys. I really appreciate it. Appreciate you guys showing up basically every stream, which is amazing. It's like it's appointment viewing. It kind of amazes me. I know we're just, we're not a big community, but the fact that we exist at all is really amazing to me, actually. When I stop and think about it, I'm like, wow, how did this happen? It's pretty awesome. But, and it would be depressing if you guys weren't here. You know that. I'd be ranting to a cold, dark, and different universe. But that's not happening. So it's awesome. All right. It's Tuesday, right? That means Wednesday, Thursday, I'm off. All right. I got 2 days to recover till the next mega stream. All right, everyone. Have a great week, rest of the week, and we'll see you Friday night, 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern time. See ya.